Welcome everybody to episode 19, Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. We're gonna do quick around the table hellos and what's going on and who they are, where you can find them before we jump in. We got a lot to get to this episode. Most specifically, we're gonna just kill everybody. But before we get there, we're gonna say hi, hellos to. Let's go around the horn. Let's start with the. I can't do it. AJ, where can we find you and who are you playing today?
Hello, my name is AJ Winters. I am a professional dungeon master and world builder from Winter's Tales, this place right here, because I am back in Perth for only this week. This is my studio. I run Dungeons and Dragons from this place, and tonight I'm playing Corey. The wizard,
Corey,
the second wizard of the family,
the plus one wizard,
and twin, the elder twin to Rob's character, Lyndon.
Nice. Let's go jump to the -1 twin. Lyndon, do you wanna?
-1 twin here.
Yeah, +1 and -1.
I can't be a -1 and she's a +1. It's
Yeah,
one or the other. I'm the +0.
I don't know math.
Do I have to give you a maths lesson? So
I
actually have
every time.
Please don't.
Rob,
Please
we're for the math. If we encourage it, it might be doing reverse psychology there.
Not about math.
It doesn't work.
No,
Okay,
that is the opposite. You will get
Hi,
more
I'm
math.
Robert Hartley, GM. I'm a professional mathematician. I also do a part-time dungeon master. I do Dungeons and Dragons and math-related content for a living. You can find me all over the internet at Robert Hartley, GM. But tonight I will be playing the twin Lyndon Hartman, who is a transmutation wizard, level 5 now.
Ooh. What just Jesus Christ? Who just did that? Who just fell on their keyboard? Who was that?
58.
Just done it 58.
What? That's how you.
Is 2 times. I'm not gonna.
That's how you make it
Rob, I swear to God. I swear to God.
Use that prime factorization.
This is all right. This is the all right. I don't. Let's just keep going before I get. I'm very distracted.
That was very hot of you.
That's very generous. That's very
sexy.
kind. Also,
Thank you so much.
did you? What happened to you? Stop. Keep your money. Thank you. That's very kind. All right. I don't. Yeah. Ollie. Dread.
You've literally stolen the words from the GM's mouth. Hi,
Yes.
I'm Dread. I'm a professional me. I do anything that I'm really passionate about, which is TTRPGs, nerd stuff, doing silly voices, playing games with my friends here. You can find me on the internet doing things that I'm really interested in. Like, again, I just gave you the list. You can rewind and look at it. This is live, though. You'll have to watch the VOD. But what am I doing currently? I am running a game of Call of Cthulhu on the Grey GM channel, Horror on the Orient Express. We should be back tomorrow night, pending, emergencies happening and people not being able to be there. But yeah, I'd love to see you there. If you want to see me doing me, you'll have to tune in. Yeah, there you go.
Amazing. Nailed it. First try. That was really good.
I don't think anyone else can do you, Dread.
Yeah,
like I don't think anyone can be
I'm the
you.
only. If you get to the point where
What
people
about
are like
your spouse?
trying to impress,
Know what I meant.
like impressions, like you've made it. It's like, oh, I've got people that get paid to impress me.
I love how at the beginning of the session everybody's so happy and chipper, and by the end I've put you through the ringer and you're like, this is miserable and I hate it here.
Yeah.
So this is perfect.
The
This
thing
is
is, we
It's
love
why we're
being
happy when we start.
miserable.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's it.
We're asking you to bring us down.
Did
Make
we?
me good.
Yep.
We'll pay for that.
I don't.
Some of us.
Let's keep
But
going.
I'm never miserable.
Speaking of unable to do you, Zach Speaks Giant. I don't know. What a great segue. That was pro, dude. Tell us about yourself, Zach, and who you're playing. While I still recover from the gift sub bomb insanity. Go ahead.
Zach Speaks Giant is where you can find me on your local internet neighborhood. You can write it into a search bar and it will come up with my things, which is a YouTube channel, a Twitch channel, and a TikTok even. Can you imagine?
Whoa.
Where you
Just
can
one,
find-
though.
Just the one. Just the TikTok. And on it, you can find my silly, I read out silly D&D stories, and I share silly D&D thoughts of my own. I just recently hit 50,000 subs, which is nice.
Oh.
They sent me just a pine play button.
Chris
Just
Pine.
nice pine,
Chris
yeah,
Pine
pine
play
wood.
button.
So that was nice of them.
Wasn't it charcoal
Pine's
last
wood.
week though?
Yeah,
Oh,
It was
Pine's wood.
yeah, I rubbed it up. It had
Yeah.
just been burnt a little.
I really
That's-
want to make you. I really want to make your play button out of pine now. Just to.
I actually
Just
think what's
have
actually
that.
happening is
Some
someone's
balsa
just, like,
wood, maybe. Some
stitching
really
Yeah.
up
like
and
just
sending you
MDF.
random materials. They're just like, oh, we'll send
This
him.
one's actually the least dense
pine
wood,
cone this
as
week.
a transition.
Yeah.
My God.
Rob is going to math that.
Details of the exact coordinate.
And I play. I
Well, we
play
do
Goose,
remember that. Yeah.
who's an idiot.
Goose is not an idiot. He's wonderful.
But he's our idiot.
and
Yeah,
he's the
he's
actual.
our-
We found out recently that he's actually the most level-headed one of the band. He was
yeah.
actually the
Okay.
normal one.
100%.
It's
and-
kind of it's like a small pond, big fish kind of thing.
about. And Juniper Rose, who
don't know about you, but I'm pretty smart.
that was Pelican, was pretty smart, clever boy.
Was the brains of the old, yeah.
Mind you,
Um,
relative to brain size, you know.
And
Yeah.
well, she wasn't here last week, but she's back. Ellen, tell us about you, where we can find you, what shows you got coming up, and about your character.
Hey, yeah. So I've just been filming an Australian TV show called Rules to Being a Fuck Girl. It's going to be very fun. I'm
Title.
in it, which is fun. So you can see this face. I hate to watch it back on screen, but you might like it. So, you know, each their own. I'm also in the Adelaide Cabaret Festival this weekend for Brag Drunch. It's a queer deconstruction of drag brunch, and it's super fun. So you can see my drag alter ego fuckboy George there. And most importantly, you can find me at Roll2Cast. It's ROLE. I've seen some people from this stream I can't speak, but I've seen some people from this stream head over to the Roll2Cast Discord and say hello, and it's so awesome to see you there. And we have released the episode 1 of our season 9 game, which is Die, the RPG, based on the comic book by Kieran Gillen. I GM it. The season is called When the Party's Over. And it's about a group of people who used to play role-playing games together. It's been 10 years. They're now having a reunion, and they essentially get sucked into the world of their darkest fantasies. It's like TTRPG Jumanji. I'm really proud of it. So please go subscribe to Roll2Cast, listen to the episode, and tell me what you think.
Awesome.
Goffin's one of the characters, isn't she?
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Luna's
the
in there,
Goffin
yeah.
is
Exciting.
plays Kat, who is our emotion knight, and she is just amazing, and I love working with her. And yeah, I'm really, really proud of it. So please go check that out.
Nice.
And yeah, I am playing Juniper Rose, who no one is surprised I wasn't there for the last session because, as we know, Juniper cannot be fun and she cannot be happy. And I will do everything in my power to make sure those 2 rules stay consistent.
She's fun. She is totally great.
I think she's great, but
She's
I
awesome.
don't think she's fun.
She's fun
And
in her
I'll
own
never
way.
let her be happy. Never.
You know, Judy strikes me as the person like
Character arc, what's that?
whose fun is like collecting coupons, you know what I mean, and then using them at Walmart and being like, I've got the coupons for all of this, and this is like her happy place. She's a couponer, 100%. So
Kitchen's finally clean.
I know, that's fun, you know. And then the kids are
fun,
like, Mom,
guys.
that's not fun. It's fun to have a clean house. It's fun. Get out of here. So me finally last, and definitely least of this bunch. So I'm Rackham in the GM Workshop. We just started a new thing. So tonight, my time, morning for you guys in Australia, I'll be doing a session 0 for a new group for Wednesday evenings. It's going to be not streamed for that session 0, but we're going to be doing a lot of work to set the stage for a mini series of 4 to 6 part series. I don't know. I'm aiming for 4. It might end up being 6. That'll be on Wednesday nights. So that's, I don't know, some other time zone. I have no idea for Australia. It'll be a good time, and I'm looking forward to it. And we just started also D&D 101. On Monday evening, we started teaching people how to fill a character sheet. The YouTube video will be up within, a week or so. And tomorrow we're going to be tackling on the barbarian. What is a barbarian? How to make a barbarian? How you play it, kind of thing, by the rules. And yeah, so we're going to go in depth of the barbarian. That's it. That's the plan, and we're going to create a whole D&D 101 series. Okay, that's it. Enough of me. Thank you again for I'm partially recovered from that gift situation.
Okay. Your heart
We're good.
rate's
We're
down.
good. I'm ready to
Good.
kill you guys now. It's perfect. We're gonna
Yeah,
jump to the
okay.
trailer. We'll do the
What about the
recap,
game?
and then we will see what happens. A lot of tension as we make our way back to Calaman. Maybe. All right. We'll be right back, chat. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere.
It has been 300 years since the gods punished the world of Kryn. They shifted continents, sundered nations, consumed empires. 300 years since the gods departed, ushering in the time of darkness. Yet nothing is eternal. The world begins to heal. Fragile nations rebuild, tentative alliances reforge. But in the shadows to the east, the drums of war sound. Will darkness consume the land, or will heroes stand in its way? Welcome to Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen.
That.
So we're back. Last time we played. Last time we saw our adventures. You had made your way outside of Calaman on the request, on the behest of Cassandra and the council members of Calaman. There had been a threat that has been assessed and found to exist. But Cassandra had sent you down south to the inventor's home to find something that she's been looking for, a tool, a resource to go digging somewhere. And she wanted something separate, but there was a reason to go visit Jacoby, an old friend of yours. You made your way there, received a few runes along the way, and rescued Jacoby from an incursion of goblins attacking his home. Along the way, you found a church, and there, Corey discovered some books, some elements of a mythology, anthology, metaphors, something about a flying city of yore. You're not exactly sure of all the details, but it seemed important enough that it was attacked by a group of Draconians. You pushed on west, further discovering a vanguard, a part of the dragon army that had snuck past through Nightland and now threatened and surrounded Calaman. Calaman surrounded by, on the western side, the southern side, the eastern side. Things were not looking great. And you discovered as well that Cassandra had led part of the Calaman army in a bid for glory, to establish herself, to legitimize herself, to great disaster. You rescued Garrett along the way and arrived at the scene as Cassandra and her troops were fleeing the Red Dragon army. You interposed yourself, saved those few that you could, and realized that the rest of the army, or the rest of that group, some hundreds of people, are now following, and you know to escape. Meanwhile, Ollie had been taken during the encounter with Jacoby into the place between realities, the dream realm. There, encountered Grandma, Gam, and put himself to the test against the Trapper, an ancient entity who blames your family, the Hartman family, or at least your ancestors, for the fate that befell his master and himself during the Great Cataclysm. He has yet to find all the descendants of the woman who he blames in part for his fate, and is looking to hunt every one of you. Ollie, along with his grandmother, were able to hold him back and banish him out of the dream realm. In the meantime, Ollie, you had received a vision, whether it's present, past, or future, of entities arriving to Calaman being let in to great disaster. And that is where we pick up today, with the party still recovering, escaping from, or with the soldiers, the injured soldiers, Cassandra still kind of looking shell-shocked, having helped defeat the few enemies that abound. Your father in the midst, you had slain the messenger, and your father had stumbled out of whatever fugue state he had been in to be back in the present. Goose, Cassandra, looking to you to know what to do next. And that is where we'll pick up.
All right. What are we doing?
Lyndon's gonna
Heading back?
immediately grab the rope back and start getting everything together that he had and making sure that everybody has their stuff back that he borrowed. Basically, Junie's rope that he took to stab his father through the ankle. Take his daggers back as well.
Yeah.
And just basically
need to move.
Just come on the come down from all of the adrenaline and stuff.
Rob, you're coming a tiny bit low. But you grabbed...
Low.
Yeah.
Get low. Get low, get low, get low.
You pick up the rope. You can see your father, who's sort of like now leaning heavily on his double-headed axe. I immediately, by default, looks to his oldest daughter and stumbles towards you, Judy. Sort of, he's covered in blood, in the rain.
Yeah.
And he is sort of like looking around a little bit befuddled as he stumbles out of his rage, out of the anger that he had felt. And he's equally confused but relieved to see you as he goes in for a hug and also for physical support. His 6'5" frame, well, 6'7" frame, in fact, leaning over and sort of putting his weight on you for help to stay upright.
Good
God,
thing I
so
got his
heavy.
height.
Okay, Dad, we need to get you onto the horse. You can't walk.
Thank you. Sorry, where are we?
It doesn't matter. We're heading back to Calaman, right?
Yes, we should immediately.
Okay. We lost you there for a bit, but you made it back. I can't believe I was foolish enough to think that you wouldn't fight with the army.
Well, sometimes just fate tells you exactly what it wants you to do.
All right. Well,
There's way more of them. I still have some... There's a big encampment, maybe not less than an hour away from here. And at that, Cassandra will interrupt. We need to go back. I'm sorry about all of this. I really am. But if we stay here, we will get run over and all this will have been for nothing.
It already is.
let's go. I'll help Dad onto the horse with his wounded leg.
Okay, yeah, he will make his way and sort of stumble on the horse. He's pretty heavy, but the horse, this is a war horse. It's able to kind of carry the weight.
Okay, has everyone got everything? Goose, do you have your weapon?
Good point. Bit in my pocket, and with a
Really?
given that last session a coin exploded in Goose's back
Exploded
pocket.
your ass.
Yes.
Yeah, he gets a bit of his back pocket with an attached bit of his
Do you
butt.
have assless chaps right now? Is that what you're telling us?
I believe they're just chaps.
Yeah.
He doesn't have pants. It's just the boots. It's
There-
belt and boots. That's it. Everything else
Bulky
went.
pig in it,
I mean, what you're wearing? Are you wearing plate armor? I think you
Yeah.
did. You not? Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
your armor has there's a dent that makes your butt look even bigger, but you're not sort of you're fine.
Comically,
I love that. I love that. If we go back and think about the implications of that, you have back pockets in your plate armor.
yeah, I made them put it in.
Was it tailor-made?
No, I don't think he was wearing plate armor when he made out with.
When he was made out with it.
Yeah, because he put the plate armor on again when we went to the stables after that, where we were
Right,
Yeah,
using him.
yeah.
Before that, he had left his armor in the river.
Having to wear, I believe it was just a large formless sack for a while.
Yeah. So the back
But
pocket.
he somehow made it look
is what we're
stylish.
Actually saying.
Because I shouldn't have to remind you to keep picking up your fucking axe.
It's a hammer. Thank you. And also thank you, non-ironically as well.
So as you collect your things, there are a number of
this-
injured soldiers nearby that are being sort of propped up or helping each other.
Yeah, are there any murdered guys? Any people from Calaman that are clearly dead beyond help?
Yeah. There's definitely a couple of them, like some few hundred yards back, where they got caught up by the messengers group. And the bodies are just. You could take the time to go get them, but there's probably too many to bring back efficiently.
No, if we're going to be passing them within like 30 feet or so, I'm just going to make a point of trying to make Cassandra feel bad.
You can see actually as she's like beginning to walk. There are horses, and she had her own that she lends to one of the wounded soldiers.
Does she have a title that we know of in this city? She's
Lady
not princess,
Cassandra.
but is she like lady?
Lady.
Yeah, she's a lady now.
I say, excuse me, my lady. Try and get her attention.
She. Is that the tone that you use?
Yeah.
She will turn to face you. She was looking sort of towards the body that remains, and she was helping one of the soldiers. And with that, she will turn to look at you. And you can see that
I was
she's
wondering
like.
what your orders are in regards to the fallen soldiers, the men that are dead due to your orders. Are we to take their names? Do we know where their families are, that they can be informed of the fact that they'll never see their fathers, brothers, sons, uncles again because of your orders? Is this something we should do? Should we collect their bodies, or is there not time for that? I assume you planned all of this out, my lady.
I have a registry of their names. We'll have to leave the bodies, and we'll.
To be picked off by vultures and things. Understandable. It's a cycle of life. Their families will understand.
They took the risk when they signed up to come with me, and I'm sorry that they weren't. I'm sorry.
Well, I understand, my lady. You've always excelled at calculations. You were always the top of the class at school. So you took a calculated risk, and they understood that this risk was well thought through. Your plans have always been very well thought through.
Cutting through, you hear the voice of Garrett call out, I know all of these soldiers. I know all of their names. I know their families. I will be able to come back. I've already started marking their locations. We'll have to hope, and we can try to cover up their bodies as best we can. Maybe some of them will survive, but we simply don't have time. We need to care for the living. And you see Cassandra kind of looks to him. Yes, exactly. That's right. And she tries to stand upright, but she seems to be like 1,000 miles away from here. Her face is like, her eyes are kind of vacant. She's not mad at you. She's just almost like she's not able to deal with what's happening.
I think if I'm gonna leave Lyndon to destroying her ego even further. And I think Corey is going to start like wrangling those that she can and helping the injured and start getting everyone moving. Corey usually becomes a bossy boots when no one's taken the leadership, so I figure that's what Corey's doing.
Perfect. Between you and Garrett, you're able to kind of organize, get people where they need to be, and start heading generally together in the direction of Calaman.
Of course.
Last thing Goose does before he leaves is he goes up to the body of the messenger. He's going to take his maul, the hammer that she took from him. He's going to take that, and he's going to take her gauntleted fist of this very prominent enemy in his life. He's going to extend one finger on that fist and like place it so it looks like she's picking her nose, and then he's going to be like, flip her off and then leave.
Beautiful.
Such a goose move.
Done and done. And the rain that's coming down heavily in the mud and blood, this is important to do. This is important.
Yeah.
It's meaningful.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna take her head or like cut out her eye.
This is more in character.
That's actually the action that got me to 5th level.
Yeah, that's it. Ding. All right.
Yeah.
The soldiers who are wounded, like there's this moan of people injured and shuffling as best they can, but they're gritting their teeth because they know if they stay and linger, it's only going to get worse.
Is there anything that we can do to prevent further people following, like causing an avalanche or something.
Cassandra
Me-
will.
Flat ground or something.
We have two cliffs beside us, like hills beside us. We're in like a trenchy part.
You are in the trenchy part.
Hmm.
Cassandra at one point will call to Juniper. She assumes that Juniper is sort of the leader of the sort of rescue party that showed up. And so she'll call for you. She'll Juniper Rose, do you have a moment, please?
What do you want?
She hesitates. I did send a message back to Calaman. When we arrived here and I saw the breadth and width of this, I can magically communicate over distances. I sent message back to Marshal Vendry to let her know of the positioning, of the quantity of enemies. She was clear to tell me not to engage. I thought I knew better. I blame will be. I assure you, I'm just. They're coming. We don't need to run all the way back home, but just to meet up with the forces that she's marshaled on her way here. They know of this now. She is bringing the breadth and width of the might of Calaman this far west. We could just move to meet them and then come back and fight.
Your soldiers are already wounded. You took them into an attack they would not survive. Now that they're depleted and already injured, you're sending them back in.
Well, I'm not saying that we. She tries to whisper fairly quietly to you, and she'll tell you, "I don't know what to do. Should I return home with them? Do I stay and fight? What would you do?"
I mean, I've never had the luxury of being able to decide things for myself, Cassandra. I would have thought someone born with a silver spoon in their mouth would be suited to that. However, I think in your position, it would be better to actually stand beside the people you sent to die and continue to fight. They're already marching towards Calaman. Is that right?
We are walking back to Calaman. The army that Marshal Vendry is bringing out is heading this way. When I told her of the amount of people that were here, she marshaled the rest of the forces and is bringing them to bear upon this army out west. This is not the entire army. This is a vanguard, some 800, 700 strong people.
But the
throw good men
vanguard,
after bed
yeah.
and to leave Calaman entirely defenseless.
Well, if you're nearby enough, you can hear that exchange. And yes, essentially Calaman is bringing the brunt of their army out here to fight based on what Cassandra sent back.
Lyndon is definitely, he's been standing near Cassandra the whole time trying to make her feel bad.
Does Calaman have, like, is it a walled city?
It is a walled city, absolutely.
Yeah. And the army that usually defends it, the army that's coming this way, is it like a militia or is it like a trained?
It is a trained. So when you guys arrive, you know that it is like a military might. This city has stood for a long time, and they have a proper contingent of fighters. This isn't Vogler. This is a big city.
And am I correct in thinking the army is heading, the opposing army, they're heading towards Calaman?
You don't know the bulk of the army. Yeah, you're not sure where they are.
surrounded.
You know that this is a part of that army that sort of went west to surround the city. By Cassandra's description, there's about 1,000 or less of them. Calaman numbers way more than this. If they bring everybody out to fight, that's going to be way more than 1,000 people. And it seems that the marshal...
We know from lots of sources that there's people out, there's dragon folk out west, out south, out north, out east. We've heard them. Everybody keeps talking about different directions, so it sounds like there's lots of contingents, lots of battalions of these dragon folk, and they are surrounding Calaman and potentially moving in.
Look, I'm not any kind of tactician or strategist, but I would think that 1,000 people out in the open is pretty not crash hot if you're fighting dragons.
I
No,
think
I
Calaman
would
has
say
its
not.
defenses.
Given that
And-
Calaman has defense, has walls, has ballistas, has defenses against siege. We're much more defensible to stay in the city. Let them.
And
come
That's what
to
I always
us
say
and-
about open fields: no walls.
And if
That
we are
is-
already
yeah.
retreating, hopefully we can bait the army into coming to Calaman, where at least we can. The people there can
Defend it.
stand in their home and defend it. But honestly, Cassandra, I think I would have a word with the people that you're about to send off to die. And maybe not look at them as grunts below you.
She nods her head and then turns back towards like the injured soldiers that are there, and we need to keep moving. We need to make it back home. I will make reparations to your family. I assure you, I will use what little I have, my wealth, to aid you in your recovery, and perhaps and you see she stumbles with her words. She doesn't know exactly what to say. You get the insight, like all of you, you've been around rich people, you've seen rich people. Apologizing is not a thing. Admitting guilt is not a thing that they do. And so
I'm gonna try something.
yeah, she just stops short of saying, I'm
gonna try
sorry
kiss
to the troops.
I'm gonna make out with it. No, I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna walk up to Cassandra. So I've helped the sick. I wasn't part of that conversation. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on. I walk up to Cassandra as she's like stumbling,
Yeah.
and I just put a hand on her shoulder. We need to move, all right? If you fall apart, we fall apart. Let's go. I'm gonna act my ass off
Yep.
and show her some kindness
Do
to come in handy later. Should
Okay.
I roll a performance check?
No, she is so
Okay.
she's
wants to
seemingly
believe it.
so desperate for
Okay.
any amount of empathy that she actually smiles at you.
Self-deception always succeeds.
Yeah, and so she will accept your show of friendship or empathy, whatever you want to
Okay.
call it, and she
Yeah.
yes, all right, let's move, and she'll call out with like finding her voice again, and begins the long walk back. Like you guys are not super
I-
close to Calaman. This is a long ride back to the
I
city.
walk up to Cory and say, Vuemioba. And then just kind of like walk away. I'll walk alongside them anyway.
Okay.
As we're setting off, Goose is going to spend the majority of his time around the leftover troops that can still walk, and he is going to be every kind of idiot possible. But his aim is to just like keep their morale high, which is like the number 2 thing that wins wars. The
Okay.
first being numbers, which we don't have.
Yeah. I'm just going to be with our father, guiding the horse essentially.
There is a moment. This is about a 6-7 hour ride back home. This is a long, far distance away from home in Calaman. During that time, you will be able to take a long rest, so you guys can mark that down if you need to, if you haven't yet.
Woo!
And and then we'll cut to Ollie in a second here. But there's a moment, Juniper, again, where Cassandra, she's been watching you. She's been watching you take care of your dad. She's been watching the dynamics between you and him. She's been watching you with your family. She's doing her best to look after the people. You can see that she's fumbling with like her coin out of nervous habit. She's playing with steel. But there's a moment where she will ride alongside you, in earshot of your dad, if you don't mind.
Mm.
And she'll look to him, and your dad is clearly kind of like here, not here. You know, he's walking along, but he's not in a great state after like great physical exertion, being hurt. How How do you do it? How do you live to his expectations?
I mean, to be honest, they've probably never been his. They've been mine. Our parents see us in one way, and we see ourselves as this incomplete package, trying to present ourselves to them fully formed. But in truth, I've never had to prove myself to my father, and the ways in which I measured myself were whether my siblings were fed. It's pretty tangible. Either they go hungry or they don't. And if I could get through a day knowing that they were fed, all of their limbs were intact, that they went to bed knowing that they were loved, then I knew I could do the next day. I feel sorry for you, Cassandra. I feel like you've never had that.
She stands upright as best she can. She looks to you, and again she says, "What do you see when you look at me?"
Shorter hair than we used to.
I see a girl. I see a girl. That's it. Someone who's looking desperately to prove themselves to a man who is no longer with us. Maybe didn't even deserve the effort.
I don't know how to live for tomorrow when my father's sins of yesterday still bear on me. How do I make my own fate, Juniper? I feel that the world is pushing me one way, and regardless of how hard I push or strive, would you fight fate? Or would you embrace it wholeheartedly and become who the world wants you to be?
It's rather philosophical. I think these are the sorts of questions one can ask when they have time. I've never really had time to think about who I am. I just had to be it. I had to be that person for my siblings, for everyone else. I think maybe if you stopped trying to find yourself in whatever your father's plans for you were, and started trying to find yourself in the people around you, you might have more success. Fate's fate, right? You can argue this way or the other. You're never gonna know what happens next. But at least you could do something that makes yourself happy or makes you proud of yourself. You could do what you can.
She closes her eyes for a minute. You're right. It is. I'm here for the ride, and I might as well enjoy it. You said I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was born with a poisoned dagger in my heart. It's fine. I thank you. You've helped me more than you know. And she will push on ahead by herself, sort of looking to the soldiers around her. She looks to all of you, and she will remain quiet, sort of excluding herself from the group for the rest of the ride. I don't know if there's anything else you want to accomplish on the ride back to Calaman, but you have basically a few hours of time.
Excuse me. Towards the end, I'm sort of ducking in and out of kind of meditative trancing as a fae while I'm trying to study and trying to work, but my exhaustion's kind of taking me. But I'm studying specifically the stopwatch that Goose threw to me after he used it and went all fast and then real slow and weirded with time. And I'm studying that and cross-referencing it to some notes that I'm using. And then towards the end of the long rest, I'll hand it back to Goose. I'll probably wake him because he's got stupid human genes. Hey, This stopwatch,
Clock.
you can.
Right.
Yeah, you can have it back. It's it doesn't seem. It seems temperamental. So I'm going to give. Here's me officially warning you that it's. I don't know exactly what it does yet. And it seems like it potentially is dangerous, but it seems like it's also, with your stupid luck, I imagine that it could be very handy. Also, it happened to be very useful in my studies. You see, the equations I was working on for a particular spell to
I mean,
manipulate
you don't have to
time.
go through the nuts
I
and bolts
probably
of
don't
it.
need to go
You
through
can
this
just-
specifics. I was missing a particular crucial detail. I've found particular runes that are inside that, and it's actually helped me make a breakthrough. I think I can cast a very similar spell on you or
Hey!
anybody to speed up their perceptions. Essentially, it alters the mind. So in the mind, there are neurons and
Yeah, you can. You
synaptics.
don't have to. This
can
bit
probably skip
is.
over
You
that bit.
can just. Yeah,
it,
you can.
it speeds up the way that you see and perceive things, and so that you can act and respond to things a lot faster, essentially. So from your perspective, things around you move slower, but from everybody else's perspective, you will be moving faster. And I'm very tired now. I spent most
You can make
of
me
the
go
ride-
fast. Is that what you're
I
saying?
can make you go fast. Yes.
Make me go fast. Dude, that'd be
I
great.
make you go fast.
That would
Also,
be
incidentally,
excellent.
not that you probably won't understand the connection, but there is actually a connection between that and the gravitational pull of the plane that we're on. And in having that breakthrough, it actually helped with a breakthrough of how to overcome.
flick him in the ear.
I can make you fly, is what I'm saying. I can overcome
sorry,
gravity
I was-
temporarily, and I can help some of us to fly, which is it should be. Theoretically, I haven't tested it.
Like
We've
with
been
wings?
fast. Not with wings, just
Ask follow-up questions.
there's transmutation magic that it alters the massive body and
The guy standing,
the question.
the guy next to his goose, who is like within earshot, suddenly falls asleep, like just hearing this conversation.
I take off long rest.
Yeah.
While Lyndon is occupied with that conversation,
Mhm.
I'm going to use that time to message Cassandra.
Sure.
And hide that I've done that.
Okay.
And I'm going to send her message, and I'm going to say, in my experience, fuck fate. Fate made me not seen in my family unless I was worth something. You decide, not anyone else, what you do.
Is okay. And you are you changing your voice? Like, does she know? Does she recognize your voice when you do this?
She would know who it is.
Okay. Cool. She will consider your words, and she won't respond, but you know that she didn't like block the telepathy or anything. Like, she will nod her head to what you have to say. She's constantly fiddling with like this dagger that she has in her hand, and you can see that it's made of steel. There's a symbol on it that you recognize, like these weighted scales that are sort of drawn in the pommel of it. You know this to be the religious symbol, the same thing that Goose and Juniper saw when they went into the Gerber mansion in her little, ritual cave or whatever it was. This is the symbol of the god of greed that sits on the pommel of her blade.
Okay.
And she is fiddling with it. You are reminded, maybe for a brief moment, she did say at one point that she was promised glory, and this is not. She seems.
What was promised?
She seems shaken by what's happened. This is not what she expected. This is not what she thought was meant to happen. Clearly, this is not an act. As best you can tell, she's not faking it. She's definitely like processing a lot of information, and your little nudge on that river of information is taking it.
Yeah.
After about 6 hours, about an hour and a half out of town, maybe 5 hours, you will be running into. You see the army that's being led by Marshal Vendry. You eventually do cross paths with them. They have left the city. About 6,000 soldiers, like a big group that are heading west in pursuit of that vanguard that Cassandra, when she sent her message to them, they took that very seriously, and there is a very large, and you hear them before you see them, but eventually you do. It's up to you whether you want to encounter them or not. Cassandra, based on everything that's been said, will make way in that direction to get help for her troops, to talk to the marshal, and to then lead the rest of the troops home to take ownership of it and look after them. But that's her intention.
Yeah, we're definitely
intention
want
is
to
to-
encounter them.
Turn them back towards Calaman, right?
She will let the marshal make the decision, but she will report what she saw. Garrett
Okay.
will be there at her side, sort of.
I wasn't there, so I can't
Yeah,
do anything.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that conversation. Otherwise, I would
Yeah,
have.
but she will, walk up to the marshal who leads, and then will give her full report. Anybody of you can go with her.
Lyndon
Garrett will accompany her.
definitely- Yeah,
but-
Lyndon will definitely go
Yeah, I
with
think-
to make sure that the story is being relayed properly and she's not trying to make herself sound better than she was. Make sure that she gets ultimate maximize humiliation is one of his equations.
Yeah, I think.
and
Yeah.
and B also because I can do minor illusions, so I can like supplement what we saw and what the leaders look like and how many there were, and just like I can help with relaying to the marshal exactly what happened and how, and then
Okay.
convince them hopefully to turn around and protect Calaman.
I think Juniper will accompany too as well, because she's, especially with all of these like philosophical, breakthroughs. She sees someone who is becoming untethered, and could risk more danger and bloodshed heading towards Calaman, and
Sure.
she'll try and avoid that if she can.
Okay, so she goes up with Lyndon not far behind, and Juniper, immediately there, like you're within 10 feet of her. Garrett is immediately behind her as well as she approaches the marshal, and she will.
I'm beside Lyndon.
Perfect. She doesn't seem to hold back. She explains her intention, the permission that she received from the council to lead essentially a scouting party. When she arrived there with her troops, she thought she saw an opening. She describes the location of the army, the quantity of people, and she thought with magic at her side and the gods, whispering to her that this could be doable, this was achievable. Her army or her battalion seemed really keen and eager to get into it, but by the time they realized their mistake, they were too far in. The contingent, broke away from that group of about 800 soldiers, however many it was, and overwhelmed them. She immediately turned back to flee to try to protect her troops. It didn't work out, and in the final assessment, she takes full responsibility. She claims full responsibility for what it is, and she repeats the message that she told. She sort of gives like an overview. There's so many soldiers. This is what it looked like. This is where they're at. This is the condition of the battlefield. It's almost like a sit rep. It's very dry. It's very factual. There's not a whole lot of emotion behind it. And she just gives you like the cliff notes of what happened and where it's at. In some capacity, it sterilizes the information that she gives back. It's very to the letter, to the point, but she doesn't deflect from the fact that, it was her decision, her call, and this is the outcome of it. She gives this is the good news, this is how many there are, and this is where they are. The bad news, we suffered, 72 soldiers are gone. This is what remains. They're not in good condition. I intend to bring them back to Calaman. And finally, she says, I'm not a strategist. I'm not a military genius, but it seems that you outnumber them at least 5-1. And by my estimation, Calaman being surrounded by enemies in every which direction is perhaps not the safest thing. Marshal, I leave the decision to you. If there's anything else you guys want to add to that, you can. Garrett,
Can I ask a world-building question?
Absolutely.
I might be wrong in this, but wasn't it the fact that gods weren't around as much anymore, hence why we didn't really have healing magic and stuff? So Cassandra told the council that she could speak to the gods?
She made a bold claim to them that she could feel and sense the presence of the divine coming back, and she's been paying attention to the fact that the constellations in the skies have been shifting on and off. and they were ripe for that conversation. Nobody else really leaned into it, and they're like, well, I've heard stories of sailors saying that the Fisher King occasionally disappears, and that's bizarre. And
She knew that we, like, 2 of the family had done healing magic. She's not wrong.
100%. Yeah.
So she's not right in that she is some kind of arbiter of them.
But she is correct in that she is speaking to potentially a god, if that is her patron.
Yeah, me.
Speaking to someone.
So she's basically.
But I just found it interesting because it only clued into me when you said that she brought it up. I was like, wait, aren't gods not meant to be around? So she's
Corey, she is very
okay.
much it's very insightful of Corey to have that moment where Cassandra is leaning also the fact that the myth and story of not just one but 2 people, and in fact a third one has been rumored to have done it as well, are healing people out in the world in a very real, not charlatan nonsense kind of way. And one of them was literally two of them were by her side. Like, she's met 2 of those healers, and she's riding that coattail that nobody else seems to want to ride. And she's like, I have participated, I am party to these miracles. The gods are clearly with me, and we cannot fail. And it carried some weight in the council, and she was granted the permission to take this vanguard out to do this work that she did, and sadly it didn't pan out.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Fun to know that we got people killed indirectly.
Is anyone else gonna raise their opinion about the idea that staying in Calaman surrounded is a bad choice?
Yeah. That irked me. I think Lyndon points out that yes, you may outnumber this particular battalion 5-1 from the amount that she's seen, but we've heard that there are other battalions to the south and others to the east and others to the you might head out and even the best case scenario is you go and defeat this one battalion and leave Calaman undefended entirely against the rest of the battalions that attack and take the city, and you've got nothing to go back to. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is you get out there, you find that battalion actually isn't nearly as small as you think it is. They've got all sorts of reinforcements. They've got invisible ones, or they can multiply, or they've got dragons coming down from above the clouds, or they've got siege weapons, or they've got magic, and your battalion is wiped out, and you leave the city undefended.
I take the firework out of Lyndon's backpack, and I'm like, they use these to communicate to each other very quickly and bring down dragons.
It's a signaling device. It can call in creatures that can fly and bombard from above.
So I assume you brought like ballista and like anti-air weapons. Yeah.
They looked at each other. Maybe Marshal Vendry will say, we have plenty of very capable bowmen, and we do have some amount of siege weapons we can assemble. We've got the best, obviously, trebuchets, which is number 1.
These are dragons. You need bolts, you need cannons, you need fortification, and you don't know where they're going to be striking from.
Marshal, of course, it is your decision. We defer to your military strategy here, Marshal, but I'm presenting information that you may not have been aware of. Calaman is much more surrounded, and I think with a fortified city with ballista on the walls and men stationed at every opportunity, I think we stand much more chance of actually defending ourselves than going out into a wilderness against an enemy that we don't know the numbers of.
Make a persuasion roll, you guys. She has heard on and off more, about these. She has yet to see a dragon or proof of dragons, and so while you guys are talking of it, none of them.
Is one person with advantage help, or
sure, it's up to you.
Are you? Yeah, are you persuading?
I'm a persuady boy. If you want me to roll,
you're a persuady boy.
Yeah, I would say give it to Goose. Also, was Garrett not burned by? What was his scar from?
Yeah, Garrett was fighting one of the Draconians.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. No, it wasn't the dragon itself.
And of course, Goose is currently half a Draconian.
Yeah.
22 on my persuade.
Okay. The plans that Marshall made, the Marshal made, now suddenly, she does take you all very seriously. She sees the injured, she sees the wounded, She has yet to see a dragon, or a draconian for that matter, and no proof has been presented to her of it. But you make a great deal of sense. She will look to the army, or the general, the people that serve under her, the sergeants and the captains. She will call to them. It will take us... I will need to confer with my leaders. I need to validate what you're saying. And Lady Cassandra was meant to do some of that. Unfortunately, it seems that an error in judgment, and there will be more on this. It takes a while to get 6,000 people turned around and ready to march back. You have wounded soldiers. I urge you, return, we will confer, and we will most likely take your advice, but I cannot make as much as I am the leader of this contingent, I cannot simply make decisions by myself when the council has specified what they wish of me.
If it helps to save face, Commander, you traveled out here to secure the remaining forces in their retreat, saving their lives.
I appreciate the suggestion, but no, that is not. I do not need to save face.
Right, okay.
Before you stay out here and we return, you should know that we took down one of their leaders. If I was part of a battalion and a leader of mine was fallen, I would hasten my plans of attack. You could be vulnerable, left out. I know moving 6,000 people is hard.
Okay.
But perhaps make the decision quickly. And I will say that, and I will walk away.
Okay, perfect. So she will call to her captains, and you watch as they create sort of the little council of war, and they're having a discussion. She has commanded Cassandra to take the injured and to bring them back to town to be looked after.
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra will obey. She will grab the remaining soldiers. Some of them will choose to stay here with the 6,000 feeling more secure in, a big group. And there's about a dozen of them who are injured enough who want to go home and want to be looked after. And she will plan to leave with those to go back to Calaman. It will take some time. Like, you guys can stay with the army if you want to. You can go back with Cassandra. It's up to you. But it will take probably the better part of a few hours for the troops to get turned around, if they do decide to do that, and to go back home. So it's up to you what you want to do.
Family huddle.
Yes, we're all united front.
Well, not all our family, but it's a different story. What are we planning to do? Because I feel it unwise to leave this army right now. If we go back to Calaman, we are, yes, in a city with walls, but we are without 6,000 soldiers when we have Cassandra and injured people. I don't think that's smart.
I feel like if a dragon, or what was the little dragon called?
Dragonelle.
Dragonelle. Thanks, Lennon. If that comes down and causes a ruckus, I don't think these people have any kind of defense for that. We're that. I guess.
This army.
You're saying these people or those people? Because the same argument can be made for both.
Yeah.
Well,
Same
the people in
argument.
Calaman at least
6,000.
have big walls, and homes they
Big
can.
walls
they
don't
can
help
hide in.
against flying dragonelles. I'm sorry to tell you.
Stone walls
Going
and
to a
stone
physics-
buildings do.
And if people got underground, but they would need capable leaders back in Calaman advising
My
them
argument-
what to do.
My argument was exactly the same, but with the opposite conclusion. We need to go back
With
to
the
Calaman
army.
because currently Calaman has no defenses, and we could be their only defenses while these people are turning around.
I agree.
I think
But
no matter
also,
what, people are going to get hurt.
but we can't let Calaman fall. It might be our only place for survival.
We can move faster than an army of however many thousands this is. I feel we need to get back to the city, not only
you're
to defend it, but also because who the hell knows what Cassandra's going to do when she gets
True.
out of this guilty slump
She's
that
not-
she's in.
Obviously, this has been a huge blow to what was remaining of her ego. She's
It will repair
scrambling
itself.
and desperate, and her
Exactly.
in charge
And
of
that's
Calaman.
dangerous.
I fear for those people.
Well,
Exactly.
good thing she's gonna lose all her money, huh? Through a
Well-
terrible accident.
I have to. I've been observing the dagger that she's been obsessively fiddling with.
Yeah.
I think she's made a pact with the god of greed. And I don't think her paranoia is just her. I think she's being led astray, not only from her father, but from this god. And I think if we offer friendship, I'm not saying all of us, but potentially me, maybe Junie, we could sort of lure her into making better decisions. Ones that will keep people alive for the time being, and then once that is over, we'll kill her.
Yeah, the losing all her money strategy at least gets her out of making decisions for other people.
Not necessarily. Not if she's claiming that she can speak to the gods. Did anyone else pick that up?
Yes, I did find that odd.
Let's go
Well-
back to Calaman, if we agree.
I think we are all agreed. And maybe once we get back there, we can reconnect with your school friend, Jacoby.
Oh yes, that'd be a good idea. Maybe we can get some more weapons or things. Where was that that man that created the trebuchet? Did he come with us to Calaman?
Oh, the
He lived in
gnome.
Vogler, right?
He lived. Yeah.
I don't think he would have come with us.
He's
He
not
wouldn't have-
with
definitely
you.
wouldn't have brought a trebuchet anyway.
No, the gnome flinger remained in Vogler, but they were definitely part of the refugees that left Vogler.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget their name, but I'll go dig it up.
Okay. If he is in Calaman, we might be able to enlist his help in creating another. If there isn't. Lyndon's technique with the catapult spell was fantastic, and if flying creatures are heading our way, we might need more defenses. Anything could help.
There's also more access to knowledge back in Calaman, and we still
Yes.
need to get Ollie back, no matter
Yes.
what.
Agreed. Well,
Let's break into another library.
let's go.
Excellent.
Speaking of Ollie, you, after facing the situation with the trapper, with your grandmother, and stepping out of your dream and into the reality of where you are currently in Nightland. So if I look at the world map and you see Calaman sort of centered, to the southwest of it, there's this old keep, an ancient castle that sits in the mountains where it's always raining. Nobody goes there. It's an abandoned castle. It's said to be cursed. You are not far from there. This is the same. You imagine that it's the same castle that you saw in your vision, but you saw it when it was still in good condition or in better condition than it might be today. You are about half a day's ride away, or a half a day's run away, I suppose, as a wolf, from town. And you had received a vision, and again, you're not sure if it's present, past, or future, of Knights of Solamnia arriving to town, bearing banners of a black rose, surrounded by protective or disguising magics. To you, clearly seeping in that vision blackness and death, but whomever was guarding the gates, opening and throwing them open rather, for those arrivals. And in your heart of hearts, or in that moment, you knew, if not for you, but at least for the people of Calaman, just sheer unbridled terror. What do you want to do?
Say that the castle is in ruins nearby.
It's probably like an hour and a half away. You're in sort of like the bottom of the mountain range, and the castle sits across mountain. Like, it's fairly dangerous terrain, but you could probably get there. You don't know the way, but you can see the outline of it in the mountains.
With a frustrated expression with what's just transpired with Granny, Ollie believes that he needs more information. If he's going to do anything or bring this to the siblings. So Ollie will transform. Oh no, I'm out. Have I got one wild chips left? Let me a sec. I'm not rested, am I? I already asked this.
You will be, yeah, as soon as, once you start making your way back to town, you'll be able to get a rest along the way, essentially.
Okay. I do have, it says here I got a wild shape on my sheet, so
okay.
I'm gonna wolf up.
Yep.
No, maybe not wolf up. I'm gonna go bear again. Bear has climb speed, so bear. I'm gonna go bear.
Okay.
Naturally without the mask, and then I'm going to start bounding towards the ruins in the distance. Yeah.
All right.
Angry bear as well.
Perfect. I'm gonna ask you to make a survival check for me, please.
All right. Rock and roll. Survival is going to be a 19. Dirty Bowser.
About 30 or 45 minutes in, as you're making your way through these mountainous regions, Darkguard Keep, now in Nightlund, was the home to a group of knights, and you can see fairly quickly these outposts that sit away that have been presumably untouched since the Cataclysm. Up a cliff, you can see the winding road that leads around this cliff face. And it isn't long before, even from where you're at, you can see that this place is not abandoned. There are the sounds of hammer and steel. There's the sound of industry. But most importantly, what you do spot with a 19 on the survival, the scent of death and necromancy is heavy in the air. Whatever sits here is the antithesis of life. Whatever sits here certainly is just the aura. You're not even within, like, you're an hour still out, and you can feel just the antithesis of everything that you stand for. You know that this is a very dangerous place, but there might be information here. If you are to be found out in a place like this alone, Ollie would be in great danger. But what else is here?
Jeez. Okay. Ollie can't leave well alone. He's going to transform out of bear.
Mm-hmm.
And is going to cast Pass Without a Trace, summoning the shadows and the quiet places of nature to cling to him, so that he may infiltrate this place, get what he can, and get out.
Make a stealth check.
Okay. Oh, that's a natto 20.
Nice.
For a total of 33, GM.
The roads that lead up to this place are cracked and broken. They are on either side rife with weeds and thorns. Black, ugly roses grow throughout all of these bushes. Chunks have fallen off the road and leave huge gaping gaps and chasms that fall down. You're careful, you're quiet, you're making your way. Strewn rubble. You get close, you get closer. You can see the gate of the castle, and hanging upside down or being driven through stakes, the bodies, the corpses, with enormous lances driven through them, staked through in front as dire warning. Corpses, countless corpses, litter the way like a honors guard to the entrance of this castle. You can see the entrance. You do not see signs of life or unlife in this place, but you can hear the heavy footfalls and movement from within the castle walls itself. This is an omen. This is rather an altar, a celebration, a presence of unlife. You are about to enter. Every screaming fiber of your body tells you what this is. This is the home of death. And you are at its threshold. You are still, however, with a 33, completely unseen.
Does it look like there's any entry points?
The gate,
for
the enormous gate.
infiltration?
That's it. Just the
It's
big
open?
old gates. It's open. It's not closed.
Yeah.
It's just rife with corpses on either side of it.
All right. Ollie will pass through the gate.
As you make your way towards the entrance, the corpses begin to awaken. Do not enter. Foolish. The living have no place here. And as you step, every last one of whispers to you quietly. You can hear the cracking of the bodies. You can see the sticky blackened blood run down. And for a moment, they come to life to say their warning before falling back asleep. Do you push forth?
Ollie pauses and thinks for a very long moment. And he thinks about everything that's important to him and what he's trying to do. And
Make
still
one more
frustrated
stealth
with what-
check as you're standing in the midst of these.
Yeah.
Just one more roll, but tell me what Ollie's thinking as you're rolling.
Yeah. He's not happy with Grandma. If this situation has been made worse because of Granny Hartman, this is his taking like responsibility of what he was trying to achieve
Mm-hmm.
for his family and the other ancestors of the Harmons. That's a natural Bowser. It's a 32.
Okay, it's up to you. You can see that the voices of these undead talk to you, ancient knights, ancient people, and all of them towards the end of that walkway, they repeat the same name. He comes, Soth comes, Lord Soth, Lord Soth. Over and over they whisper this name. Like a liturgy, like a hymn to whatever this lord is. Doesn't sound very friendly.
Under his breath, he's, Holas, 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 let's go. Let's go. Gotta be brave. Gotta be brave.
Do you push in?
Yep.
As you make your way past the threshold, past the gateway, you somehow have found perfect timing with your 32. The courtyard is not empty. It is filled with specters, soldiers, living and dead, wights, revenants that are going to and fro their business, preparing in some large quantity weapons that you do not comprehend. Weapons of war, weapons of torture, weapons of torment. In the middle of the grounds of this courtyard, bigger than you've seen before, an emblem to the goddess Takesis, the Dark Queen herself. It is thrumming with power. It is thrumming with here and now. This is not a dream. This is not a vision. This is not something from long ago. This is from right here, right now. And you find yourself in this middle of this industry, of this ramping up to whatever destructive desires they will have. There are pathways, there are stairwells that go up, down through an enormous twisted series of corridors and stairs into this dark keep. There is a brief moment of a heartbeat or two right now where you are completely, miraculously unseen.
Ollie is going to take this as enough and is going to sneak the heck out of there, knowing that now that Ollie has confirmed this, doesn't want to lose the opportunity to tell everyone else.
Okay. Make one final stealth check, please.
Okay. It's a natural Bowser again. 32. I'm rolling out tonight, GM.
The DC to come into this place, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to spoil this. The DC to come into this keep and not be seen and not be found is what's considered typically a impossible DC, the difficulty class of 30. The fact that you rolled 33 and then 32 and then 30 to come in here unseen and leave, you have made your way to Dargard Keep. You have seen within the confines of Dargard Keep, and you have left Dargard Keep unseen, untouched, unblemished, unhurt. And as you begin making your escape through the cliff sides, the escarpments, there's a moment where you have rations on you, presumably, and as you're making your way, one of the pieces of fruit that you carry with you falls out of your pocket and just nicks ever so slightly against one of these long, bristly thorns. And instantly, Ollie, you realize how foolish this was, because as soon as that apple that touches the edge of one of these thorns, it withers, and within seconds it goes from being a regular looking apple to the most desiccated apple to just being completely
dehydrator.
Yeah, it's a dehydrated,
It's one of those
completely
delicious apple chunks now.
rotted out and completely dead, for the lack of a better term. The apple just withers and crumples into a blackened ash puddle of liquid rot.
Don't touch the thorns.
Where do you go from here?
Impulsive.
The intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts win. Let touch it. Touch it. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, let's do it.
Zip.
Okay, so I'm out of the keep now.
You are.
I'm still within that distance though of the keep. Do I need
I mean, you could
to get out, or?
You could see it, but you know now as you're looking around, how did you get through? There are entities that circle this place, flying. There are guards. You found the moment in time where these undead guards, these unliving creatures and living, are patrolling, and you found the moment that you made your way in, looked around, made your way out safely, but you don't know how much your luck is going to hold if you stay within range.
Yep. Ollie thanks fate or divine guidance here, but also thanks the memory of Junie teaching him how to be quiet, stealthy, take your time, stick to the quiet places, and then will make his way back to Calaman.
All right. It so happens, because, you know, things often happen this way. Between the time you go there and leave with the Hartman family, the rest of the party stopping with the army, you, Ollie, and the rest of the family, who is accompanying Cassandra, so if I understood this right, you guys did go with Cassandra back to town. Ollie, in the distance, you do see eventually, not far from you, the Lyndon, Corey, Goose, Juniper, your dad on the back of a horse.
Are we getting reunited finally?
Cassandra.
The 700 episodes.
700.
And a number of injured soldiers arriving at the western gate, and you can see them, and easily enough, you're able to catch up. Your wild shape will now, you've taken a long rest along the way. This is sort of like you're walking, but your mind is elsewhere. It's not strenuous. You're not forcing yourself. So I'll allow you to get a long rest along the way. But there is your family at the outskirts of Calaman, and more concerningly, there are a number of people that are waiting outside the gates, and the gates are down at the city. The doors are shut, and the gates are down.
I've seen them, but they haven't seen me.
Yeah, sure. Easily enough. You guys down there, Juniper, you look over and you see, I'm not sure what shape you're in, Ollie, if you're walking, if you're in whatever form you're in, but they will see you approaching, presumably towards them, yes.
Ollie just has a 1,000-yard stare, is just like looking off, and is just like walking with something that's heavily burdening him.
I think as soon as I would see Ollie, I think whether she's like just walking along the horse, or whether she is like guiding actually on the horse, she's gonna go full speed. Juniper's gonna go full speed and get to where Ollie is.
Okay.
And yeah, there's
Hearing the
nothing
familiar
impeding.
footfalls
Yeah.
of Junie approaching, Ollie just instinctively just crashes into you and then hugs and squeezes and is shaking.
I can't.
Just fear.
I don't have words. I'm
How
just
far
so
are they
glad
from
you're
us?
back.
They're
If
like 50
they
feet
ran?
away from me. They're right there. Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. I think as soon as Juniper caught the,
I'm gonna
Junie-
message
Junie-
Junie.
it's that
Junie,
it's
check
that
his neck.
Junie,
it's like
back
that
up.
sibling. Yeah, it's like that sibling thing of knowing he's near, and she just would have dropped the reins and ran off.
I love that the twins have the complete opposite reaction, and it's
Yeah,
that's not our brother.
that can't be. What the fuck? We saw him disappear into a different plane of existence.
Snap his
and then
neck,
he's just
snap his
here?
neck.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just kill it.
I send a message to Junie immediately as she starts running, and I'm like, Junie, check his neck.
After embracing Ollie, Juniper is going to step back and just, with her hand, look along Ollie's face. Is it you?
GM, is it me?
It is 100% you.
You'd never know.
Imagine it wasn't.
I'm just gonna check.
Be a good
And
move.
Rackham's like, God damn it, he wasn't meant to know yet.
It is you. It is you.
Yeah, it is me. Okay, cool.
It's a Tarask. No, sorry. No, it's definitely Ollie.
Rask. It's a Tarask in a
course.
mask.
Yeah.
That's just a mask.
You'll mask Tarask.
Whatever,
Yes, Junie, it's me.
whatever happened, you're back. And I'm just so glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you too.
You were with
I'm gonna-
grandmother?
Yes. Yes, that was. A lot has happened. A lot is about to happen. We are all in grave danger. And
Is it
I don't think that I could save you or our siblings.
That's not your job, Ollie. It's not your job to save us. Your job is just to be here. Okay? It's never been your job to save us. You did what you can. And that's all.
You hear Cassandra talking at the gate. There's a crowd that's milling at the gate, like about a dozen commoners. They're murmuring and they're trying to get in, and the guard is out there saying, "Nothing to see, please move along." And they're just not being sort of let in at the gates at the
I
moment.
hate this city.
Oleander,
Yes.
when you were about 7 or 8 years old, you gave me a nickname. What was it? I only ever allowed you to call me it. As he takes his time thinking it, Linda's fingers go to his dagger.
Loads are gone.
Do I?
Cocks
Yeah.
it. Puts
Yeah.
it again.
So Ollie's actually having a hard time remembering because all he's seeing is flashes of what he saw at the keep. He's still riding high on that
Yeah.
sense of dread and is trying to recall what is happening here, whether this is a way of bringing Ollie back or not.
I don't remember the nickname myself.
We didn't. This is
We didn't think
improvising
it's
the
just
moment.
us.
This
like,
Dread is
purely,
yes and.
yeah.
I'm searching for something good. Killer.
I'm gonna put my dagger back. and just kind of awkwardly sort of one hand hug, but then it kind of turns into a two-handed hug, and I just whisper into your ear, I guess we've got a lot to talk about. I'm glad you're safe.
Squeeze there. It's a shaking hug. Like you can feel it. The adrenaline is still in there.
You can hear the
finally
gates.
sees
The
Ollie
gates
from
open. Cassandra is. All right. They've shut the gates because the army's not here, and some knights have recently arrived, which is good news. But hurry up. We need to look after these soldiers.
Knights?
Which knights have arrived?
To respond to the question that you asked, you can hear one of the guards say, "Knights of Solamnia have from the old stories. They've come. At least half a dozen or a dozen heavily armored knights, like something out of a story. And a message for the governor, and the council was... In any case, Lady Cassandra's said that you're with her. You're welcome to come in, but no one else."
Then I sent another message to Cassandra and relay what we know of the knights. The ones that... We got attacked by knights that were taken over, but they weren't Solemnian knights, were they? They were the knights of the...
They 100% were.
Yeah.
But they were like draconians wearing their skin, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't trust them for 2 seconds.
And the trapper guy...
Goose is going to catch up with Ollie.
Yeah,
Goose finally
the
sees
Trapper
Ollie,
wears
and it's like,
Solemnian Knight
Trapper
outfit
guy
as well.
is a
Yeah.
Knight of Solamnia as well, yeah?
But we
Which was
don't
my-
we don't know
We don't know that.
I don't know that.
Wait, do I know that? Did I see that when I
Very
saw
difficult
that.
to keep a track of.
No,
all
you
of the
did. No,
information that Ollie knows.
You did.
I
no.
saw through
You
Ollie's
saw it
eyes.
through Ollie, and you saw him in the outfit, and you told us about it. So we do know that he wears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so I'm
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell Cassandra everything. I'm gonna send her a message and just say, from our understanding, this is most very likely a trap.
She will respond, and trap or not, I need to look after these men.
Of course, just warning you.
And she will begin moving into the city with the knights and issuing commands to send them to the infirmary. And you can hear her like just she will look back, and I know Goose, you're making your way to Ollie, but she will call out. You can stay outside, you can come inside, it's up to you, but I must relay and talk to the council of what's happened, and I need to
Yes.
follow up with these soldiers and their families.
We shall follow. Junie,
Yeah.
you should accompany Cassandra and the council if she will allow.
I mean, I will do my best. I don't know that I can temper her, and again, I don't know that I can.
I'm not. I think you're the only one that she would let near, and I don't. If we are suspecting that this is a trap, and those knights have gone in to talk to the council, I don't think that's the council anymore.
I know that, but in which case, am I just there to observe? I don't have the tactical knowledge to handle this.
Don't worry, then I'll come along as well.
Oh gosh. Actually, we should all go if this is a trap. Let's
I
follow
don't want to be.
Cassandra.
I don't want to be separated.
Move
know
along.
something's up
The guard
here.
is now saying, "Move and make up
Yeah,
your
we're
minds."
all
But we need
moving
to we need to
altogether.
shut the gates.
We're gonna follow in.
Yeah.
Ollie's going to grab Junie's hand and squeeze it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let go.
All right, the
And
guards.
as we're doing
Never.
I'm struggling to remember what we know about the Knights of Solemnia now, and what's
Okay, so then-
what's
Yeah,
information
I'm
Ollie knows and
trying
what
to look
information
through
we
my
know.
notes.
I mean, it's up to Ollie to cast. He can cast cantrip exposition if he wants to. But ultimately, what you guys know of the knights is that Garrett's one of them, right? He received an armor from Becklin. They're an order of knights that were sworn to protect decency and goodness across the realms, and their reputation was tarnished when 300 years ago they failed to do just that, and people blamed them for what happened. but in this case, it seems that a contingent of them have arrived from out west to aid the castle in its
So
time of need.
they're not all bad. It's just that Trapper wears their armor and is one of the older 300 years ago Knights of Solamnia.
Yes.
I've got
And
him
West.
down as a rose, which was the highest order of the Knights.
Black Rose, yeah.
Yeah.
Black rose.
Question is a directional question. West, was that the same position from the keep? Like,
The keep is south, but when you came up
Yeah.
towards the
Okay,
city,
cool.
you saw them coming on the western gate. You
Alright,
saw your
cool.
family.
okay, cool. All right.
You,
I'm gonna connect with Lyndon as we're walking in.
Yeah.
And in a moment of clarity, I'm just gonna use my telepathy to say, "Do you know the name, Lord Soth?"
History check? Or do I? Is there a chance?
Lord Soth. Make a history check. It's possible that you stumbled on that name in the university or the towers.
With a 24?
24. The Lord Soth is a name that you're familiar with, that you have heard.
Heard it, yes.
Um, What you would know of him is that some people. Okay, let me flip it on this way. 24 is really
Give me the
good.
context.
So
Really good. It's no bad, isn't it?
He's a kind of he climbs around in trees, right, really slow.
yeah,
Really
Ah,
slow.
Lord Sloth.
Odds.
Sometimes
Sloth.
algae grows on him.
Yeah.
There-
Yeah.
Sometimes
Three
they're
toed.
dumb enough to grab their own wrists, thinking it's a brand, and then fall to
how
their deaths.
how
Actual
interested
thing that
how
happens.
interested was Lyndon in necromancy at school?
Oh, it has some very what's the word? Morbid curiosity into it.
Great.
Is necromancy illegal in this world?
It is not.
No, he would have had morbid curiosity in it, especially with the lack of healing magics in the world. That like he's interested in what happens after death, and
The white robes didn't fiddle too much with necromancy. Red robes, out of pure studious curiosity, will have studied necromancy, and black robes are very much into that realm. And when you were studying and maybe deciding whether or not you were gonna, what robes would interested in what, there was a tome that you were really good at school. You probably did something for a teacher, and you were allowed permission in some of the deeper tomes or histories. Books that people don't always go to, because necromancy is often the art of how do you raise this and what do you need, what are the components, but the history of it kind of interested you. And there is talk of this Lord Soth. The historical part of it, his involvement in the cataclysm, not all that interesting. Rather, what you stumbled upon is the entry that speaks of him not in the past tense but in the present tense, almost like a contemporary to you. And the way that it speaks of him is sightings of him like the boogeyman, of this entity that resembles the Knight of the Black Rose. It's never mentioned as... There is one reference of Lord Soth equating to the Knight of the Black Rose, but often later it's just the Knight of the Black Rose, and later amended to say Death Knight. And the relationship that you build in your mind goes Lord Soth to Order of the Black Rose to Death Knight, and that is not a happy association.
so I think as we walk, then it says Lord Soth, and I say, the name sounds familiar, and I ask him for the sort of context. What do you? Help me. No, I feel like I know something about him. What is? Why do you ask? What is the?
As you guys are
context
talking, I'm going to ask you all to make perception checks, please.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
In a hot minute.
here? What is the context, Ollie? What do you
Ooh.
mean? Why do you know the
Okay.
name?
Don't worry, everyone. I got a 5.
We're good,
I
we're
rolled a
good.
natural 20, so that's pretty good.
Nice.
If you
Nice.
fail, I got
Perception.
I have
24.
a dirty Bowser.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a 25.
Oh, Ollie
Okay.
succeeded more than me.
Nice.
When you're in the middle of the
Better
conversation,
eyes.
what strikes you is that normally it's busy. The town is busy. The castle is busy. And the strangeness of the quietness of the castle grounds is what cuts through the conversation. It's just the courtyard is largely deserted. Most of the city's defenders remain with the troops west of the city, right? Near the entrance where the stairs lead to the castle proper, you can see inside, and you can see 2 heavily armored knights of Solamnia are within. There are no guards posted at the entryway, and inside you can see 2 heavily armored Knights of Solamnia in the foyer, in like the main chamber. But there are no workers in the courtyard. There are no other guards. There are no children running around. There's no smiths. There's nobody working. It is just very quiet. And one of the knights who is inside is holding a banner that is very heavy and dangles past him, bearing a prominent rose emblem.
Well,
A
I think
rose?
dramatically.
Uh-oh.
It is, in fact, funny that you would ask, a black rose.
Purple rose.
Dramatically, then
It's just completely unrelated.
Dramatically, as we're walking, and I'm aware of all this sort of silence and stuff, and I ask Ollie for the context. Ollie, what would you have given me about Lord Soth to jog my memory? How much more do you?
There's
feel?
no response, and then if you were, do you look to Ollie at all, or have you something that you don't?
Yeah, I
remember?
think I looked
Yeah.
to. I think I looked to after you're silent for a moment.
He sees. You can just see like horror seeing that rose in front of him.
I turn and I see the rose. I see your face. That suddenly sparks where I remember the name Lord Soth from, and I go, "Oh, wait, Lord Soth was the name of the what did they call him? A murder? No, dead walk? No,
The Death
a
Knight?
mnemonic for this. Death Knight. That's not good. That's not good. Lord Soth was the name of a Death Knight that's existent today. He's a Death Walker, some sort of necromancer, a
thought
knight.
All
that
the
was a
nouns
fairy
you're
tale.
saying are very bad.
Yes, they're nasty, and he's associated with a Knight of the. Let me get this straight. It's been a while since I read that book. Knight of the Black Rose, which was a highest order of the Knights of Solamnia. So that's not good. That's associated with.
The trapper,
We're all in
one
danger.
that I saw, had a black rose.
We're all in danger. We.
Don't yell.
Calm down.
Ollie,
Calm down, Ollie. Calm
They're
down.
Ollie,
We're gonna
hunting us.
We're fine.
Not just me, all of us. There's
Ollie,
death
you're with-
coming for us.
Ollie,
Who's just gonna lean
you're with
forward
your
and
pack.
flick Ollie in the ear and be like, Ollie, now, what have I told you about getting teleported wrongly to alien and strange planes, all right? You don't do it. And when you come back, and we're all a group, we're gonna stay a group, all right? That means keeping your fucking lid on, all right? Can you do that? Take a deep breath, in, and then all the way out. All the way out. Good. All right. Lids
You're with your-
on, right, Ol? I want you to tell me. Lids on?
He was sort of the boogeyman. They referred to him in this book by the present sense. He was like a nasty.
I guess he
nasty
showed up
sort
in
of-
people's dreams.
Yes. I think there was like a dream element of. He would come for you if you disobeyed the order of the Knights of Solamnia or something like that.
wait,
We're all
but
being
he's physically present here, right? This isn't some sort of dream.
No, he's here.
I tried
Okay.
to.
Ollie, this is good. He's not in a dream. Okay? He's out here in the real world. And as scary as he may seem, he's vulnerable too. Remember what I would always say when we're hunting? Everyone is one step away from being hunted. But we are a pack. And you're back in your pack, Ollie. Okay?
Where's Cassandra?
She's 100% with you guys. She
Okay,
is.
perfect.
She steps. She's in the castle grounds. She's in front. She's looking around. Where's everyone?
I'm just gonna reach out my hand to her arm and just like try and not get her to step too much forward and try and pull her just towards me slightly.
She's very confused the way you're putting your hands on her.
Clearly. I'm I'm gonna make direct eye contact if she looks back at me.
Mm-hmm, she does.
I swear to God, if you end up kissing Cassandra,
It's a speed run, 100%
put my hand on her arm. I'm gonna make direct eye contact. I'm gonna step my hand.
It's a Hartman family thing. All
That's
right.
I'm gonna look at her with all sincerity. We are in direct danger, Cassandra. We need to not alert anyone that we understand that we are. But these nights are not good. And the reason it's quiet is because we're in massive amounts of danger. Do you understand?
She looks around. Sure, yes.
Okay.
They failed to protect the land, I think it was. It's coming back to me in pieces.
What's
the Black
plan?
Rose
Do we
was
just kill
an
everyone
order.
coming in? Like, do we kill all the knights as we move in, or what are we doing?
I think we need to
I think
blend
it was just-
or hide. We need to make a plan of attack, and we can't do that from the center of a courtyard right now.
I don't
Cassandra.
know if we can fight this.
We
Ollie?
should go to Cassandra's
if-
rooms.
Ollie,
we should go to
If it's
Cassandra's
wait
this down
rooms.
an
Wait
entire
until-
army and the things I
wait.
saw.
Ollie, wait
it's
until
this
we're inside and
quiet-
not in hearing distance.
If it's this quiet out in the streets and everywhere, it may be this quiet back at the library. I know it's dangerous given what we went through when we were last there, but if
I don't
it
think
is
it's that quiet.
there,
The
we-
city isn't quiet like this, right? It's
No,
Yeah.
the city's not quiet. People are out and about the city. People are, there's a nervous energy because the soldiers left the city. The city walls are closed. The gates are closed to protect the city.
It's
we can see them-
castle.
Cassandra is
If we
telling you,
can-
we need to go see the council. This is why I came
We-
here, is to report back to them.
Do you know a way to the council that isn't directly in the line of these knights? If we can see them, they can see us. We need to
Has to
hide
be
right
some-
now.
The knights have
Yeah.
not moved an inch.
This is a castle. There's surely passageways in here, right?
All right, I'm gonna.
I mean,
Goose is-
Oh, God.
the fastest way is through here. I don't know of another way. I'm not that familiar with the castle grounds. 1 and 2. The council room, it has one point of entry. It's the most secure way. There's no back door to it. We need to control every aspect of the entry, and it is heavily guarded. I
That's a
think
trap.
I
Alright.
think you're letting yourself.
You
Goose is
fool.
gonna walk up to one of the guards, by the way.
He says to
So they're-
Cassandra,
they're
calls Cassandra a fool. They have us separated.
I will turn to Cassandra and I will say, your judgment hasn't been great. Could you please let us make a judgment in this instance?
She will defer and let you make a call. Goose is stepping forward. Goose, so just let me switch the map so you guys can see.
By the way,
where-
one of his arms is all like frosted over and rhymed up.
So the staircase goes up to the foyer here, and the 2 knights are inside here.
Mhm.
So if you want to get to them, you'd have to go sort of up here. But the castle courtyard is completely empty. There were workers, they were fixing things, there
Okay.
was a smithy. It's all empty. Just
And
up,
which
the doors are open, and there are 2 knights. The council chamber is on the 3rd floor inside the castle.
so we'd have to go through them to get to the council chamber?
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna follow Goose. If he started moving, we're not getting separated.
Yeah.
Goose is gonna roll 2 cigarettes as he goes. Out of his little pouch.
Everybody,
We'll meet
act
you.
like we're meant to be here. Do not act scared. They
So-
do not need to know that we know there's a problem.
Corey, you go with them. Who else is
We
going with
stick
them?
together.
So
We
all of-
stick together.
Okay, Cassandra will fall back
Sorry.
because she's been told not to come or to behave, so she'll be behind you guys and lets you take the lead.
Okay.
Where's our father?
Did you? He's happy to come with, but the others went to the infirmary. It's up to you. He could have. He could have gone with them, or
up, right?
yeah,
So he,
so
I
he-
imagine he went to an infirmary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
Not a
that's
good idea
if
to have our
Juniper's.
father with us.
Is Juniper okay with that being separated? That's the question.
Yeah.
Yes. She knows that he needs minding.
Okay.
And yeah.
He wouldn't be good to have fight beside us if his mind's not
No,
always
right.
there.
So who's leading the way? Goose is up front.
I
gonna
will
say
stay
to
in the
Ollie as
middle
well.
of the group, and I will make sure that Cassandra is close to us at all times. Just like gesturing to her, like keeping the kindness up, just being like,
Yeah.
stand beside me, kind of thing.
Okay.
I want to be close behind Goose, but I also just want to, either have my hand on Ollie's or just be a close physical presence to him.
So, Ollie, are you willing to be up front?
With everyone else.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so I have Goose, Judy, Ollie, and then behind that, Lyndon, Corey, and Cassandra.
I'm gonna tell you to
That
Ollie
seems
as
about
well.
right.
We are much stronger and more capable than we gave ourselves credit for. Keep yourselves together. We are not in as much danger as you think. We can handle this. We just took down that messenger wench. I'll tell you all about it as soon as we get some time.
Goose, you enter.
Shore up that face, Ollie.
You can see that there are these two knights standing, one of them with an enormous banner, and they're wearing Solamnic armor. The armor, though, is covered in spots of ash and rust, as if exceptionally old. But they stand there and they do not speak. They have blades that are beautiful, long, and they are wearing the same sort of armor that you saw Becklin have, just in an older style and just not nearly as well maintained.
Beckland's wasn't as well maintained? Or these
No,
guys
no,
aren't?
these guys is not as well maintained.
These guys is not well maintained. Okay.
How you going, gang? I light one of the cigarettes, put it in my mouth, take the other one out, light it, walk up to the guy on the left, offer it. Lovely position, always. Standing in the same spot, huh? Legs hurting, knees hurting.
They don't seem to react. Like, you try to actively put it in his mouth, or you handed it out to
I'm just like gesturing to him.
He doesn't respond or react. He's got this helmet on that covers most of his features, but you can see his eyes kind of tracking the cigarette, but he doesn't reach for it.
All right,
Okay. We can't see their faces.
I'll just leave this with you. And then he's just going to really gently, real
Safety
gently
in the gun barrel.
put it in the visor. Just wedge it there.
We're gonna end up in combat because of you.
You guys have a good one. Hey, you're doing a bang up job, mate. I've never in my life seen a standing guard reject the offer of a free cigarette. You're doing a bang up job. Hey, commendation for you. Coming your way. Not a problem.
You put this sort of cigarette like in the visor. You can see sort of the mouth where it is, and as you do so, there is like an inhale of like.
Hey, I'm not gonna say anything. You have a good one, man.
This has never come in handy.
Yep.
But my primeval awareness.
Mhm.
Am I able
Yeah, Ranger.
That's what we
Yeah.
want.
What is it set to?
So it's sent to general bad shit. If I
Evil
can- I can-
elves.
Yeah, I can expend
This is
one
my
ranger
bad
spot to
radar.
sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within one mile of myself.
As you focus on the area around you, you close your eyes for just a brief moment, and the world turns sort of entirely black, and there's a pulse like a radar or a water drop that hits, and the ripples, and immediately, like a Christmas tree lighting up, the castle just, like two guys in front of you radiate, yes, undead. Up above in the council chamber, you know where that is from you. There is like a beacon or a sun, just something is very dead up there. And pushing past, not quite a mile away, but in the bowels of the castle, there is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or more undead figures that are traipsing around somewhere in the basement or in the crypts of the castle.
Where in the dead? Where there's my
Yeah, I
dead?
think
Ollie's
after
been freaking out.
I glance over at
They're already
Junie.
here.
yeah, after Goose, offered the guard the cigarette, and there's some inhalation. I think you see Juniper's eyes close and just kind of, oh my god, Bowser. Come here, buddy.
I mean, Goose
Come here.
Goose has spent a lot of time around people working any number of different positions. This to him is like as proof positive that these people are inhuman. Or
For you, Junie, when you
humanoid.
have like that primeval awareness, there is an aura around these guys that tries to befuddle the eye, but now that you know for a fact that these guys are undead, you can see sort of through that disguise, that low-level disguise that's on them, the skin that a moment ago looked normal and human-like now is gray-white. You can see red eyes peeking from behind those masks. You can see that their skin, where their gauntleted fists sort of leave a bit of a peak of their hands, you can see the pallor of their skin, the rot of their aura around them. These are definitely, absolutely undead creatures.
Mm.
I will send Junie a message. I'm going to send one to every single person, one after another, being like, continue to act as though we're meant to be here. Keep moving through the space. I'm not, because I have no idea what's happening with Junie.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to keep being like, everyone keep moving.
I think Juniper will gather herself. Oh my god, this dog.
It's fine, you're fine.
Gather yourself.
Gather myself and say, these knights obviously work overtime.
Pretend it's Ollie, because it's what
That
Ollie's
lich-
doing right now.
Oh,
Ollie is
are they
whimpering.
stopping us from moving?
Ollie is quite literally.
Yeah, have they
If I
stopped
go
us
to
or are we
move
just walking past
past,
them?
if I go to
They
move
haven't-
past them, are they going to stop me?
You haven't tried? You don't know.
Yeah, these
Uh,
knights
after I-
obviously work tirelessly to defend us. It looks like they're almost skin and bone. And I'll kind of flash my eyes at my siblings.
I don't
Yes.
pick up on it.
Yeah, you're looking. Hey, guys, you're looking in great shape. We're all good. We're heading in. We got some chats to make. Lovely catching up with you two. Good to see new faces around the courtyard. Alrighty. Bueno. I'm gonna take a step past them. Do they do anything?
Yeah.
They instantly draw their blades.
Okay. All right. My bad. You look. We're. My mistake. Absolutely. So Goose wants to just put his foot real close to the line and what he's hoping is that the two of them collapse, walk towards him.
Goose and everyone else, as you test your the limits of what an undead creature that has been slated or staked to ask, I'm gonna ask you simply to all roll initiative, please.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone, please stop crediting the dog with having awareness. He is just annoyed that I'm ignoring him.
No, he's magic. Bowser is magic.
When they drew their swords, Lyndon
Yeah.
drew his dagger out, and I just wanted to see for myself how stealthily I was able to do that. So I rolled a sleight of hand and got a 19.
Very nice. Nobody noticed. It's
Basically
very
got
good.
it kind of hidden into his hand, and he was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
As they draw their blades, you see that, you obviously understand what you're facing, except maybe Lyndon. Everybody else seems to have gotten a message from Juniper.
Yeah, I rolled a 4 on the insight checks to see
Perfect.
what she was
Oh,
getting at. I was like,
no!
they look fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn,
They look perfectly
my
healthy.
wordplay.
Initiatives 25 to 20, please.
20 for Ollie.
Okay. It's 20 to 15?
Uh-oh.
15 to 10?
11.
13.
So 13. Sorry, Corey, what'd you
14
get?
for Corey.
14. Okay, so 14. Then Juniper. Then Lyndon. Okay,
And 10 for Goose.
perfect.
Oh my god.
Doing
You don't
great.
even have the decency to be first in initiative.
It's last initiative. Like, I'm gonna start this fight and then go last.
Yeah.
It might not be a fight.
That's my speciality.
Initiative just means it's time-based, time-sensitive. Doesn't
Okay, give me
mean
a
combat
second.
necessarily.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? They might just be real cross
Yeah.
with us.
Goose isn't gonna lead us straight into a combat. Of course not.
And Cassandra's with us, right?
Cassandra's with you,
Cassandra's
yes. She's perfect. There they are. Hang on, let me just do this.
And Dad is
At the
being
infirmary.
The
tended to by
infirmary.
The undead.
I really
Yeah.
hope that.
If there are undead in the infirmary. I don't know if they are.
Perfect. The knights look very different now that you know what you're facing. Top of the round, I think it was Ollie. Ollie, you know, you can sense it. Your sister's tense. What she has said. You watch as these knights who are wearing armor reek of undeath, and their eyes glare back at you. It is a bad look. What would you like to do?
Looks to his siblings for strength.
Mm-hmm.
And as he does, he's going to take a deep breath. Show up that face. You're with your pack. And Ollie is going to cast. Where is it? Conjure animals.
Okay.
And as he does that, he's going to summon. He's going to summon 4 black bears, 1 for each sibling.
Whoa!
So you're summoning 4 creatures of CR half or lower, right?
Yes.
Okay, 4 black bears right here. And where do you put them?
All around the knights and trying to protect my siblings.
So 2 on each, or 4 around 1?
We are 2 on each.
Excellent. 1 here, 1 there, 1 here. Okay, you've summoned them. They go immediately after your turn, so that's your action. You have a bonus action left. What do you want to do?
Right. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to then grab my totem of Ispin, and I'm going to summon the bear totem to give us all temporary hit points. And yeah, the green ethereal bear springs out and basks us with the strength of our uncle.
Excellent. The totem, and it's what's the range on the totem? Remind me.
The
30?
totem range 60 feet.
Oh, wow.
30 feet. 30 feet.
30 feet,
Within
okay.
60 feet of me, yeah.
So the entirety of the chamber is now imbued with the spirit of your bear totem. Can you roll the temp hit points? Yeah.
We all get 10 temp hit points.
Nice.
Yeah, and we all
2 death knights.
yeah.
We're gonna need it.
Yep. We also gain advantage on strength checks and saving throws.
That's kind of huge. All right, perfect.
Gonna need it.
30 feet. I just want to make sure I get everybody in it. I
Everyone's
sucked
got
at.
their runes, yeah?
Can't.
These guys are more like Death Squires. It's fine.
That's squires. Death.
I mean,
I'm
the cool thing is we don't
really
need to
worried
feel
about
bad.
the 7 figures in the basement. That's what I'm really worried about.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think Rackham said 7 or more. Not to be that guy.
no, there was more, but the basement was like the figures roaming around, and he counted them out, and I was like, that's concerning.
It's never a good sign.
Never when the DM counts specifically how many are in a space. You're like, that's a big
So
deal.
you've summoned the creatures. You use the spirit totem. You have movement left, and then your animals will go next. What do you want to do with your movement, Ollie?
Let's have a look at movement. I am just going to move forward, if I can, in front of my siblings. Not too close, like just in front of them, so I'd be the primary target.
Goose is in the thick of things already, so
Yeah, so we're not Goose. So obviously, like Goose
Okay,
is
you got it.
Is shocked that I'm like
the animals go next. What would you have them do?
I'm gonna get them all to make 1 claw and 1 bite each because they have multi-attack.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So Ollie kicks off
God
combat.
damn druids, man! I hate this so much.
This is
I'm gonna hate
I'm just
druids
gonna
in
roll
my
them out
games for this reason.
Yeah.
Like first initiative of the combat, I'm gonna add 4 more initiatives to the combat. Each of them has lots of attack.
Let me quickly roll up 72 attack rolls.
Sorry, each bear has its own personality.
There's one die.
You have to
There's a
roleplay
goose
each other, you have to
bear,
keep
there's a
track of
linden
them.
bear, there's a...
Whereas-
Oh my god. Is it like,
Yeah.
you know, when you have like different video game skins or whatever, and
Yeah.
each bear for the siblings has like their hairstyle?
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
So
Why
just
does
let me-
that one boost,
first
one
bear,
bear
I
have
think,
such
is
a nice
missing.
ass?
So I'll
So
tell you.
is there-
Let me just for the benefit of going faster, the armor class of these guys is 18, and tell me what hits.
Yeah, I can roll it
Oh, fudge.
out. 18. Okay, so the first bear misses completely. Second bear is going to hit with a bite attack.
Okay.
It's
a D8?
Going to, D6.
D6? Oh,
for the
maybe.
bear? Yeah.
maybe.
That's going to be 4.
You're at D6 plus 2.
Yep.
So 4
Second,
damage.
Third bear is going to be miss. Fourth bear is going to be 1 hit. It's the core, which is 2d4, 2d4, and plus 2. It's going to be 3, 5.
And that's on the second guy. Third bear, you said.
Fourth bear. So
Fourth bear, perfect.
Third bear got no hits. Yeah.
If they all look like our hairstyle,
All right.
does that mean that the Lyndon and Corey one is just Winnie the Pooh?
That's Corey. You're up next. You watch as the bears manifest, maul the two knights. As
Jesus.
they remove part of their armor, you can see the red eyes. You recognize these. You and Lyndon have spent time studying some necromancy. These are whites. They just happen to have really thick armor. They're blades, and they are servants or old Knights of Solamnia. Their disguise is now banished. You know that these are clearly undead. What do you want to do? Juniper, you're on deck.
We did take a long rest, didn't we? Thank goodness. Okay, I'm immediately gonna reach out to Goose, and I'm gonna cast Dragon's Breath on Goose again.
You got it.
But this time I'm gonna do fire damage.
You got it.
And then
No one then.
I'm going to, because I'm not in range of those, I'm gonna back them up, and there's nothing I'm just gonna take a defensive stance. I'm just gonna back out slightly and hope to God that we can defeat these creatures.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Juniper, you're up.
Okay, yeah.
You're just inside the
surprising-
courtyard, and you can see that your brothers are, already in the thick of things. There are bears that have been summoned, are laying waste to the creatures around, and Goose is up front about to do goose stuff.
Excellent. If I'm near enough to my bear, I give it a scritch. And I will draw my bow. Sorry, trying to look at Tailspire through the stream.
Mm-hmm.
With the... is any guard in particular closer to my siblings than the other?
Yeah, the one on the left is right there. And you saw when the bears sort of like attacked the white, it was a pretty big chunk of bite, but it wasn't. You've seen bear attacks.
Yeah.
This white is resistant to, to some amount of damage here.
The bear.
Okay. Great.
bear it.
Well, I'm gonna... Ew. I'm gonna roll to attack that one.
You got it.
That's 18.
Hits.
Beats it. Okay. That's not that much, unfortunately. That's 5 damage. And is the other one within 5 foot?
The other one is not within 5 feet, and your arrow is not, unless it's not a magical arrow, right?
No.
Okay, so your weapon does half damage.
Yeah. Okay. Bugger. Alright. That is all I can really do there.
Okay, anything with your bonus action, Hunter's Mark, or anything else at all?
No, I don't have Hunter's Mark.
Oh,
Yeah. I wanted to make sure I had healing because I feel like
for sure.
we
Hell yeah.
needed double healing in this family. Yeah, I think that's all I can really do. I just want to kind of reposition. Can I hop on my bear like a mount?
I think it's probably
Will that
close
count
enough.
as movement?
It's movement, and you can use that as a bonus action. I'll let you do it if you want to.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
You run in, and you guys watch as Juniper just leaps and jumps on the back of the summoned bear. Perfect. You're riding a bear.
I feel great about this.
The knight, the guard that is closest to Goose, will then go. He's going to target Goose. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
22.
That's a save. Perfect. As he looks at you, you feel the pull of... He's trying to reach for literally your veins inside your body. As he's trying to just suck the life out of you, but you know what? It's not working. He's going to follow up with running you through with his sword. Instead, with a 10 plus... There's a 14 hit.
14 does not hit.
Okay. The first knight then smacks against your armor, tries to just attack you, but is unfortunately unsuccessful. Lyndon, you're up.
Alright, so I know how much I'm in gaming versus metagaming. What does Lyndon notice? Does he notice?
You know that they're whites.
irrefutably I know that they're white. I know that they're undead. I know that they're whites.
Yes, you know that they're resistant to non-magical attacks that aren't silvered. You know that they're not like they're a potent undead creature. They have sentience and intelligence, but they're clearly following orders here. That's about as much as you know.
Yeah. Lyndon, not having realized that was what Junie was trying to say earlier, will shout out so everybody's completely aware. Holy shit, these guys are undead. They're whites. And then he will grab his spell book out and he'll go, Goose, do you want to move faster? And he's going to start casting haste. And haste is just it's a verbal, somatic, and material component. So he starts doing some hand gestures in the air. He shoves his hand down into his bag and he goes, I think I've got some in here. There's components spilling out everywhere. He brings out a shaving of licorice root and he just like throws it out, and as it hits the center of this like symbol in front of him, everybody sees Goose start to speed up a little bit. But Goose, you see the world slow down as I cast haste on you.
Nice.
That's really good.
That's my action. I say, oh god, they're undead. They're resistant to your attacks, but hit them hard enough and it'll still hurt. And I will, I'll duck back behind the wall.
Perfect.
And say, try not to touch them.
Your sister's on the other side. You're on the other side. Cassandra's behind Corey at this point. Anything else you're doing?
That's my whole thing.
Okay, the knight will disregard the bears and will step
We
away.
be wizards.
He's going to come after you, Ollie. Your bears can get attacks of opportunity, please.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We're gonna go with the claws.
Mm-hmm.
2 misses.
Okay, it steps up to you. Actually, wait, that's a lie. I'm a liar. It doesn't step up to you. It steps up to Goose. It begins to walk towards you, Ollie, and then suddenly you hear it sniff the air before it turns and then veers towards Goose.
Hey, that's a phase. I've been traveling, all right?
And it's going to attack you. Ollie, you're close enough. Make a perception check for me, please. The first attack is a 19, so that'll hit.
No,
18,
I got
GM.
haste on.
Oh,
My
you
AC is
big
20.
jerk. So he misses twice. What did you roll for perception?
Ooh.
18.
He's literally... It's almost funny, comical. He's attacking Goose's ass with his sword. Like he's actively attacking his
You
back,
can try.
Hey,
Away from there.
but he misses twice.
not for you.
Not for you.
That guy's a real sword in my ass.
Is the coin still there from Cassandra, or is he
No,
just does he like his ass?
That was
The coin is not
Just
there.
wants a
The
piece
coin
of
has
it.
been
Piece
consumed,
of that cake.
but
Okay,
it's
I just wanted to
definitely the
know.
pocket and where the coin was.
Yeah, that's what I figured. All right.
Goose, you're up. And Ollie, you're
All
next.
right. Interesting. Can I use my hasted action to breathe fire, or is it?
I
does that
think haste
work?
is only an attack. I want to say.
The hasted action can only be used to take a one-weapon attack, the dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action.
So no.
Okay. I am going to breathe
You can use
fire.
your regular action to do that, and then
Yeah.
use the haste for something else.
Yeah, I'm gonna breathe fire on one of these fools. Probably the guy. Can I get anyone, or can I move slightly so that I'm in between them, like directly in between the two whites?
We call them Caucasians. So sorry. What do you want? Yeah, you can be between. You can be between.
I mean, they're lightly tanned. All right.
Okay.
And then I can breathe fire on the one between the two bears without getting the two bears.
You got it.
Sick. I'm gonna do that. He's gonna make a dexterity saving throw. Against
Easy. Get this game set. 5.
5 fails.
Are you sure?
Roll some Joe DiMaggio.
Feels like that's a success.
3d6 damage.
It's like a strong 5. What was that?
You're a big fan of this game. right,
3d6
I
damage.
love it.
Thank you.
Raccoon?
Ooh,
No
that was
worries.
a good roll. 14 points of fire damage.
It is not resistant to fire damage. As the fire, you watch the flesh inside the armor. They're wearing heavy armor, like they're wearing breastplates and heavy armor, and the armor doesn't give, which is a problem because you can smell the flesh cooking from inside. You're cooking this thing, and from the holes, the eye holes where the helmet is, you see as things are starting to seep out.
Nice.
You're burning and boiling this creature alive, or
Yay.
undead
Wow.
rather.
Oh my god, it's like the brazen bull.
But it's still
Mhm.
standing. It's still standing.
Mhm. I figured I didn't actually know that much about whites as AJ. I just figured undead flesh and fire in metal,
Always.
encased in
Always
metal,
good.
probably a fire thing.
It's delicious.
People are not that. People are not usually that flame resistant, so I can see
Yeah.
the
That
logic.
too. That too. Yeah.
I am, but that's just
Yeah.
me.
Flesh is not a great thing to keep the heat out.
Mm.
What's
Goose
the
is going
follow-up?
to use his hasted action
Yep.
to flip off both whites and take the dodge action.
Okay.
If they're targeting him, he's going to be a loose unit.
All right.
Like slow
I
motion.
kind of hoped that you would just leave it at that.
Ollie,
It's
it's your turn.
Them up.
Just, yeah,
Intimidation
full
check.
action.
Ollie is going to transform into a bear as well, using one of the normal wild shapes.
You got
And
it.
he's going to join his bear siblings with his real siblings. And he's going to charge forward to the one that is targeting the cake. And is going to make a shove attack if possible, GM.
Absolutely. So you go on, make an attack roll.
It's a contest between the two, I believe.
Yeah,
so
it is.
we're-
I'm
yeah.
just changing the size.
Yeah.
Oof. I rolled exceedingly well. 5.
I mean, I rolled just as good, I guess. I got an 11.
So that's better.
Advantage.
But yeah, you shove the white. Do you want to shove him down to the floor?
Yeah.
Perfect. You knock him down.
Okay, cool. Now, I tried to look it up beforehand. I'm pretty sure you can replace one of the multi attacks with a shove attack, a special attack. Is that-
Usually that's like there's a feat
Is
for
that
that,
usually
but you know
extra
what?
attack?
I
Yeah.
don't mind. Like that's fine. You're big enough. You tower over him. He's got his back to you. You could trip him down and follow up with either bite or a maul attack. It seems
I'm
relevant.
gonna- yeah, Ollie's gonna try and make a bite attack, just like more.
You have advantage. He's prone.
Yeah.
Yeah, with extra attack, you can replace one attack with a shove
I'm
or
not sure if
push.
it works with multi though, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
multi and
I think
multi and
it's-
extra get
Yeah.
confusing. Where the-
17,
Rules is
unfortunately,
written,
with
so-
advantage.
That's a
so
miss.
Gonna be a miss.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That would be my turn for now.
The bears go next. Bears. What do you want to do with them?
The bears.
At the end of my turn, I just roared a command at them, so they know they already instinctively know. But I want them to follow suit. So one of the bears, I want to break base contact, run over, and grapple the one that is currently underneath me, shoving it.
Okay.
So grapple that one.
Make-
Contest?
Yep. 11.
That's going to be a 19, a dirty
All
buzzer.
right, he is grappled. He's on the ground, and some enormous bear is laying on top of it. He's...
Oh, yeah. I'm going to shove the other one that's still on the one that broke base contact or is left behind.
Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna shove the one that's with like Goose and everyone else?
Yeah, the one that's still standing.
You got
on
it.
the
Go
ground
for
as
it.
well. I got a 15.
I get. Come on. It was either a 7 or a 1, but we got the 7, so you know, very good. He
You
gets.
see another bear just crash into it and knock it to the ground in front of
You got it.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna get another bear to. I'm gonna get that one to grapple it. If that's okay.
Sure, yeah, for sure. You knock it down and you just lie on top of it.
Okay. This
Sounds
one
like my
got a
older
6.
brother's bullying me. All right, so. Ooh, I got a 14. What'd you get?
Yeah. So you beat 6. You beat it for sure. Nice. I think there's one more bear there. So
There are 2 more bears. So you've got
more
one
bears.
that knocked down,
Yeah, all right.
and then there's the one that Judy's
one
riding, and
to-
then there's the other one.
I want the Linden bear to try and grapple. I want the Linden bear to try and grapple this one.
You got it.
Yeah. Okay. 12.
Grappled.
Nice.
And then with the last bear, give him a noogie.
Can I do 3 attacks then? Just
Yeah.
to speed things up. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Chuck the last one into a toilet and give him a swirly.
It's gonna
Give him
be
take his
atomic
lunch money.
wedgie.
1 bite attack for 7.
Do you get the 18? I guess you did the
Yeah, that
damage.
was an
right?
18. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, with
so-
advantage.
Okay.
That's going to be a claw with an 18.
Okay.
And then I'll do a bite after this, and we'll be done. That's 2, 4,
Okay.
and then the bite advantage. Whoa. That's gonna fail, so that's gonna miss.
Okay. So all of these do damage, but they're halved because they're not.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. So you kind of lay into it. You see pieces of armor starting to break off, and the squish. This guy got cooked on the inside, and it's sort of the weight of the bear is squishing it. It's like a bread pan that like isn't quite cooked, or a pie that hasn't baked all the way through, and you're squishing. There's like flour oozing out, but it's not flour.
Squishtality.
Yeah, I don't think that's flour somehow.
Corey, you're up next.
If it is flour, it's because we're going on a big quest to get a birthday cake for Lyndon.
Nice. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna magic missile. I'm gonna poke my head around the corner. Send some magic missiles.
Which one? They're both on the ground.
They're both on the ground, but I don't know which one I can see. So with my line of sight,
You can see them
I don't
both.
wanna I don't want to hit any of my brothers because I'm where I am with the pillar.
The closest or the clearest line of sight one that you have is the one that is beside Goose. The other one is kind of
Okay.
covered by
Yeah,
Ollie.
by Ollie. That's what I was thinking. So I'm gonna go for the one near Goose. If it's on the ground, can I aim for its eye holes?
Sure, absolutely, and it is. You can't miss. So, are you upcasting the magic missile? Or are you making it a
Yeah,
basic?
I'm gonna upcast.
Go for it.
Okay.
Did Cassandra get to do a thing?
Nope.
Cassandra's doing jack shit.
Is
Um,
she gonna?
Still here? Maybe you can run away.
Okay, so that is
she's
that is 3d4. Is that correct? 3d4.
Yeah, 44 if you're upcasting it.
44.
44 plus 4.
Okay. 2, 4, 6, plus another 2, 8, plus 3, 11, plus
4.
yeah.
So 15 points of damage.
15.
There are holes left behind. The armor is now breaking. It's not broken. It's not been really well maintained.
Breaking.
And your magic missiles have torn holes, and you can see the flesh. You can see the blood pumping out of this thing. It is in a very bad shape, but it is somehow still holding on to unlife. You've used a little bit of movement. You've used your action. What else do you want to do? And Cassandra is kind of looking from behind you. You told her to sit back and not do anything.
I'm
so she's
gonna
kinda
look at
listening to you.
her. I'm gonna look at her and be like, "Help!"
Oh, right, of course, yes. I'm sorry. I was waiting for you to tell me what to do.
I think
You
I
have your
prefer
own
to
mind,
be a
Cassandra.
Ruthless bitch.
What was your
sucks,
initiative,
useless.
Corey? It was 14, right?
Mine was 14.
Okay, so she'll go in the next round. Do you move back? Do you hold your ground? What are you doing?
I'm just gonna both knights are on the ground.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna go into the room, but not far enough towards the creatures, because I don't want anything coming from us from behind.
You got it. Juniper, you're riding on the back of a bear. There's an undead creature on the ground that's like almost exploded, and there's one behind your brother. What do you want to do?
The creature is on fire.
It's baking from the inside out, but it's not exactly on fire.
Oh, I was hoping there would be something. Is it naughty? Could I like?
Is it? I don't know if it's naughty or nice. Let me check with
Naughty.
Santa if it's
You
on the list.
I don't know. Either get enough heat to combust one of my arrows so I could light a flaming arrow.
You can for sure. Like the armor itself, it's not on fire, but it's hot enough that on contact.
Oh, okay. Great. Otherwise, I was going to try and kick Goose in the stomach to get him to barf up some fire.
You're kind of far away from. You're on the back of a
Dealer's
bear.
choice.
Well, between like during Goose's turn, you could have like reached out with the arrow, and he would have like breathed on it.
Now, what you failed to see is that Ollie put a marshmallow on there, so it smells like
Yeah.
s'mores now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be the most
no, it
delicious motherfucking arrow.
It's
Yeah, just with
gonna give him diabetes, kill him in the long term.
Yeah,
It's all part of the plan.
yeah, with a lit arrow, I would still like to. I mean, hence why I'm using the arrow. I want to be a bit further back from the prone one, and try and fire a shot into it.
Which one? The one that's by your feet, or the one that's near Ollie? There are
the
lots of bears here. It's confusing, but there's lots of.
It's
It turns
very
into a menagerie.
confusing. And
Yeah.
Ollie's a bear, isn't he?
Yes.
Everyone's a bear.
Air Nation.
Not that kind of
Air
bear.
Nation.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the one by my feet. So I might try and like do a bit of like an orca whale and circle it a little bit.
Okay.
Sorry, that's what we used to call it when you'd like walk in a bit of a semicircle around something, like an orca whale.
Literally,
like
nobody's ever called it that, but I think I know what you mean.
Like what everybody else calls bananaing, because bananas.
What?
Are
Yeah.
None of us have said either of those terms.
These are
You
not
say-
things.
You
I call
say
it-
banana.
Walk in a semicircle, like a
Yeah,
normal
I literally say I
when
walk around.
when
There's
you're on
no...
a film set. When you're on a film set
Yeah.
and the director doesn't want you to walk in a straight line, they say, give it a bit of a banana on the way.
Yeah.
I've
So
never
this-
had a
I
director
guess
tell me that.
Or orca.
I guess-
Give me an
I
orca.
guess the orca is the stage, is the theater equivalent.
The theater version.
Anyway,
No,
yeah,
done
I'd just
theatre
like
too. Definitely not.
I'd just like to go in a bit of a semicircle away and fire back into the one.
Oh,
that's
you
by
mean
my
you
feet,
you
so
want to
I'm getting
banana
some
it?
distance.
Okay, cool.
I want to banana it. Yeah.
Alright.
Thank
Give
you.
it a little
Banana the
trombone.
hour.
Give it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like you.
Now is not the
you
time
would-
for a rusty trombone.
You can, but you'd have to get off the bear, right? The bear doesn't listen to your commands. The bear listens to Ollie and Ollie
Oh,
only.
what?
So I
Yeah,
know.
Okay, fine. I guess
Who would listen
while
to
I'm
Ollie?
having my cool little Legolas moment, I've like come close enough to get the arrow hot enough to light it on fire, and then I'm just gonna like leap off essentially, making a bit of distance, and I'm gonna fire an arrow.
Okay.
It is a what's +7 to that? Jesus Christ!
You,
Why didn't
so
I pay
you do
attention
have
in math?
disadvantage because it is prone and you're shooting an arrow at it.
That's going to be. Bear with me.
Yeah.
That's still going to be a 20.
Okay, that's a hit.
And then. Here's a 6.
6 points of damage. It's down to 1 life. Excellent. You could. Now, you don't have to, but with your bonus action, you could simply walk up and punch it in the face if you want to.
Put the
Oh,
boot in.
and have it explode.
This is not a draconian. This is
It's just an undead.
It's an undead.
Yeah, I mean, I've got enough movement. Yeah,
Yes,
I'd
you
love
do.
to just like run up and kick it.
Okay, you run up and try to curb stomp it. Make an attack roll, and you have advantage because it's prone.
It's just an unarmed attack. I mean, I still rolled an 18, so that would be
That's enough with its
22.
You
Nice.
kick it, and the creature, finally the magic that possesses it expires, and you watch as the armor grows still, the many pockmarked holes in this thing. It is no more. You have about 10 feet of movement left. Juniper, what do you want to do with it?
I think I'm. I can't exactly. The thing, the shit on fire is what?
It's me.
That's
It's Goose.
Goose is the shit on fire.
Yes, because he was
And
given fire breath.
many
You've
ways.
used it. Though,
Oh,
right?
okay. I see the prone figure now. Sorry,
So
everything's
that's
so
actually
dark.
gone. Sorry, because he uses
just-
fire
No,
breath,
no,
right?
it stays
it's a
on me.
minute. Oh, it's a minute long thing. Yeah, you could keep doing. You're right. Sorry, I'm sorry. So keep going.
I think I'm happy to stay where I am.
Okay. The other knight. Well, this is the knight that's gonna kaput now. Lyndon, you're up.
Excellent. Lyndon will. He's not been watching the whole thing because he's been keeping it out of it so that he can concentrate on the haste. So he risks a little poke of his head around the corner to see what's going on. Assesses the situation. There's one more of them still, still alive, quote unquote, right? Ray of Frost at that guy.
Good. You have disadvantage. He is prone. Make an attack roll.
Prone disadvantage. All good. Both of them kind of garbage anyway. So, that is a. Come on, where's my spell sheet? That's actually a good modifier. Oh, it's because I've got my rune on my spellbook. Yeah, boy. 14 to hit.
Sadly, not enough. Yeah. But the ground beside him kind of freezes over.
Freezes over the ground beside, and I'm like, keep going, Goose. You're doing great. Pop back.
The knight will stand. No, he's being grappled and held to the ground, right? He will not stand up. He will waste his action attacking the bear.
Yeah.
The bear needs to make his saving throw for me, please.
Sure.
A con
con?
saving throw.
Corn it is. Natto 20. I'm on fire, guys.
Man,
Just rolling.
the white
Yeah,
will just
a
use
lot of
his
good
long
rolls tonight.
sword
Yeah.
to attack, and he's restrained and grappled. This is a disadvantage. 12 or 2. I hate this game. So it's. I think it's the hope that does it. Oh, this is not bad.
It's the
Maybe
hope that does
it doesn't. It's just all ye who enter here, abandon hope. All right, the knight is stuck to the ground. The white who's being pressed upon by a bear. He can't get up. He tries to drain its life. It doesn't work. He tries to stab it. It doesn't work. He's looking around like, is anybody else seeing this? He's the Jerry Seinfeld of whites.
Kill him.
What's the deal
I think
with
Jerry Seinfeld is the Jerry Seinfeld of
Why are
whites,
there
right?
so many
Fair enough.
bears?
Yeah. What's the deal with these bears on planes?
Bears
All right, Goose.
everywhere.
There's only one living or one remaining white behind you.
Goose is gonna get down and be like,
Yeah.
and belch fire directly in his ear hole.
It's a
I
dex
don't
saving
think the
throw, right?
mic picked up your burp, unfortunately. So.
Oh no! Well,
8, 10.
Sorry.
Is 10 good enough?
nope.
I'm shocked, I tell you.
Shocking.
I like to think that
It
it's like the
depends. Hang on.
tides.
Did Goose lose all of his fucking clothes again?
No.
That is 10 points of fire damage
Okay.
for this boy.
It's gonna be a
And
game
then,
where like Rackham
look
just
at
like rolls hot all night. 'Cause it's just,
it'll
like,
be
if
one.
The tide comes in.
There'll be
yeah.
one. It'll be the last. It'll be the
It'll
last
be,
one.
yeah.
It'll be the wedding
It's-
episode. You know when Goose and
Gonna
Cassandra
end
get
in a
married? Yeah.
TPK, I
Yeah.
swear.
Yeah, Chris. It'll by definition it is likely to be the last one. Whether it's the last of the story,
Yeah,
or not,
exactly.
it's the last one because it'll end in a TPK and it's the last one.
Yeah.
So what's your
10
follow-up?
points
Goose?
of fire damage,
Yeah.
and then he took a swing, which was a natural 20. Sorry, not a natural, dirty 20, and then that is another 10 points of bludgeoning damage, non-magic.
Okay. So you've taken your breath action. You've taken your haste action. You have a bonus action left.
I elect not to use it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna spit on him.
He no.
Shame damage.
Yuck. Ollie, it's your turn.
All right, Ollie's gonna come in.
Wait, would that spit
and-
hurt because you have flame breath?
Yeah. Love it.
Really hot
No.
water.
Spitfire.
No.
Right there. Ollie's gonna come in, claw and bite.
Okay, advantage.
Oh, Out of the tray. Okay.
Oh,
it's
and
a
Goose,
miss
you had
for the
advantage on
bite.
that attack in case you. Yeah, okay.
It's gonna be a miss for the claw for Ollie. Ollie completely whiffs it, and just like finds nothing but like the armor. And
Okay.
the bears.
This guy's hooped. He's got
Yeah, I'm
5
gonna
bears
get
on
all
him.
the bears to bear down.
Yeah.
For their attacks.
Yeah.
And we're going to just
And
roll
they
through these really
all
quick.
have advantage.
Yeah. So let's do all the bites and then all the claws. That's a miss. That will be 1 hit.
Apropos to nothing,
that's a
this is
miss.
why when my wife ran a shepherd druid, all my creatures suddenly had AoE
Miss.
attacks out of nowhere. It just started.
Oh, you're gonna take care of all these
I
bears.
will say that the 4 bears with the 1 bigger bear surrounding someone is a terrifying
Yeah,
image.
it's just- they're just ripping this guy apart. What do you do?
I don't know. It's pretty cute.
Just
Real don't go into the woods tonight. There's going to be a lot of surprise.
Yeah,
Handed to you.
It's an upgrade to
4
Gold
Fucking bears.
Yeah,
Bears.
fucking bears,
Uh,
dude.
yeah.
The teddy bears
So
haven't had
it's-
their fucking picnic, and what they're snacking on is whites.
And you weren't invited.
yeah. What's the?
Have the pig.
They're snacking on whites. Anyway.
4. That 1 bite. I only got 1 bite through. It's for 4. 4
Oh, wow.
damage, and that wasn't with the. Yeah, I rolled really bad on those. So 4. But I didn't discount that, so that's 2.
Okay.
That's 1 claw. 2 claws. 3 claws, and the last one's a natural 20.
Nice.
So. Ooh, up. Here. That's going to be 5. You can do Z-Mass.
Yep.
That's going to
And so
be...
for the crit, you do the max damage, and then you add another die. So if it was claw, you get 8 plus another 2d4.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So 5, 6, and then the last one is 8 plus... well, it's 10. 10 plus another... 5 roll max on that one. So say 16, 18.
18.
Yeah.
So... it's 9.
Down to 9.
Yeah, okay. He is being slowly, methodically dismembered. Things are breaking, the armor is breaking in here, the bones and just the flesh just being mollywopped. This guy is looking like a dog's breakfast. Anything else for you and your bears?
No. Bear tribe's good.
Alright, Cassandra will step into the doorway, will target the white that's on the ground, and she will cast Eldritch Blast on it.
Now?
She has disadvantage. She's been told what to do. She was told to hide. The first Eldritch Blast misses, and she will cast it again. Misses again. She stops, and she will push on in through the courtyard with the intention of going up the stairs behind that the way has been cleared. But that's it. Corey, you're up.
Okay. I am going to look back to see that Lyndon is still hiding. And I just want to look around. We've just made like a lot of ruckus and stuff. Is there any movement or sounds around us? Nothing?
Nothing. You just know from, I don't know if Junie explained, but there is something up in the council chamber and then something down in the basement.
I don't know if Junie told...
Okay, but
did
otherwise
Junie
you
relay that to
hear
me?
you
I
hear
think
so.
you hear nothing but like the sound of battle blood, and the creatures as they're dying are eerily silent. They don't cry in pain, they don't moan, they just they bake
fine.
and burn like with not a sound. You can see it's the smell, the stench, the decay. It's pretty brutal.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold my action in case anything else pops up or comes out. I'm just gonna hold a firebolt. I feel like my family has got this under control,
Okay,
and I'm
Then-
scared about other people, other enemies.
you're scanning the room. You don't see
Yeah.
anything in here. Make a I will make you do a perception check.
Okay. Okay, that is a Bowser.
19, nice. You do hear through the occasional clash of metal, steel, and bear roar, coming from upstairs. Somebody is humming. There's a tune of somebody humming Just like quietly humming to themselves, like this little tune that's coming up from and it's echoing across the hallways.
Devastatingly creepy. Cool.
Okay, Juniper, you're up. There is one more creature, one more white that is lying on the ground, just being mauled to death by bears, but you can still see bits and pieces of it. What do you want to do?
I mean, how do the bears are looking pretty good, but
Well, the bears are fine.
yeah.
Why
Yeah,
would
the bears
anybody
aren't
hurt the
gonna be the
bears? Like,
issue.
imagine hitting a bear. Imagine somebody being able to do that. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. I've
Right.
never seen it before in my life.
Didn't even dream of it.
Because I mean, I'll be at disadvantage. Like,
I mean, you have a blade,
Seems-
presumably. You could always switch weapons.
I
if
have,
you want
yeah, I
to.
have like a sickle again because I'm a farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll run up and try and get a lick in.
Get a lick and get in there. If you're using your sickle, you have advantage. If you're using your bow, you have disadvantage.
I guess it's reaping season, boys.
In the old prison shank.
Yeah.
Ah.
You join the bears and shank
Hey, it
him.
work.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that an advantage?
Yeah.
Still might not make it. Hang on.
Rack, can you
16.
switch to the? Can you switch to
There
the
it
model
is.
that has the sickle out? That'd be
Yeah.
appreciated.
Okay. Mhm. Yeah.
It's an AC of 18, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't beat it.
Okay, there's too much happening between the bears on top of each other and this creature. You just can't get quite the lick in. You have a bonus action left. Do you do anything? You see Cassandra's walking behind you and aiming, looking up the stairs. She wants to go upstairs.
I might take this time. Oh, it's so quiet. I really don't want to shout across. Because it's deathly quiet. Any of my family still able to see me?
They can all see you. I mean, Goose is not far from you. Your brother
Everyone
and
except
sister.
Lyndon.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah,
except Lyndon,
behind
who's
the
hiding
wall.
behind, who's cleverly using strategy.
Mm.
Who would have thunk it?
Family. There's more downstairs and more upstairs. In fact, everywhere in this castle. And I, in the meantime, want to follow Cassandra and stick to her like a bad smell because I don't trust her.
Okay, Lyndon, you're up.
We have about 45 seconds before he gets slow again, and he's going to feel real slow for a few seconds when he does. Are we going to make the most of it, or are we running?
Let's go! Goose is in bed. We're going. He feels like he's taken 10 shots of coffee to the eyeballs.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Lyndon is on board with like making the most of this spell and being like, "Let's go!" Like, if Goose is ready and I didn't take any damage, I've still got a shit ton up my sleeves. If we can take these two this quickly, and we've still got all these bears, let's go take the
Yeah.
fight to them when they're not expecting it.
Well, the white this last white is still alive.
Oh, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Bears will finish that.
We forgot about the white. We were like,
I genuinely
I'm
thought
still
I
here.
heard somebody,
I don't-
I heard
Honestly,
somebody say the
genuinely-
way has been. Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody said the way has been cleared, so I was like, we must have killed them all. If that white's still alive and I have a shot, then I might as well take a disadvantage shot with my cantrip.
Go for it. It's like you're fighting a boss, and it's like, well, you haven't killed me. Well, let's talk about the loot. Who's gonna get what? What are you talking? I'm still
we ignore
alive.
all the monsters. We
Still
win.
alive.
Yeah.
You won't
It's
go
a
for much
white.
longer.
They're not alive to begin with.
True.
You're just pre-loot right now, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a miss. But I'm just having this conversation while
Sure.
I'm like, are we going to
Their
make the most of
bodies
this?
just-
Ray of Frost.
Yeah, just-
I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
All right, the knight will
Okay.
try to do his best to target Ollie. He can't get to Goose quite yet, so he's going to. Ollie, I need you to make a con saving throw, please.
Here comes the con. They're on. 19.
That's a save.
Mm,
He's going to try to hit you with his sword. A 3. Okay. So, as this white is desperately overpowered, he got swarmed by bears that weren't there a second ago, coming from wherever they came from. They've been killing him and his buddy. He's stuck. He can't do a damn thing. Goose, it's on you.
Would you say the
Okay.
aftermath of the bear attack is quite grisly?
Yeah, pretty good.
I would say it is polar grizzly brown bear.
Nice.
I'm gonna let my cat bless this die.
Oh,
Ooh. Cat blast. Gonna roll a 9.
Hey, she got a 14. That's pretty good.
Nice.
ah! What's the name of your cat?
That's Jane. Jane the cat.
Okay, so 14s are heretofore.
We're gonna name every
James.
die. I'm not gonna keep track.
James.
I was hoping that you would just say, what's the name of your cat? Cat.
So I'm gonna use my hasted action.
Perfect.
So is that a
hit
total
him.
of 14, or was that after modifier?
Sorry, 21. to hit.
So 21 hits, yeah.
That is 13 points of non-magical damage with my hasted action, and then he's
Yeah.
going to make a dexterity saving throw.
Nice.
A disadvantage. Not that it needs
Yeah,
to be
no,
disadvantage.
I'm aware.
No, you got it.
4 plus
wanna make sure you
2,
knew.
6.
Is
Is
going
that
to take
enough?
7 points of fire damage along with that.
The white literally melts within the armor, and all that's left is just this
Ugh.
clinking armor that is cooling down. The ting, 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 ting of the metal cooling off. The only thing that you guys now hear is the voice or a voice coming from further up in the castle. It is humming a song, and of all of you, the only one who recognizes said song, because you do recognize it, Ollie, is you. This is the song that never ends. This is the song that you
Happy
heard
Do
in
it.
Happy birthday.
you heard
Happy
in the
birthday.
vision.
It
Of-
goes GGA, GC.
Exactly. It is the song that you heard in the vision when you saw these knights walking through the forest and being interrupted or stopped by these Eladrin, these elves that sang to them. That is the same song, just at a slower pace, and it bears. At the time, in the vision, it was kind of scary. In this case, it almost sounds like a dirge that's being sung to you, and that is coming from upstairs.
Go on.
Upstairs or downstairs?
Let's hear
Upstairs or
it.
downstairs? Upstairs or
Ollie's
downstairs?
trying to
Upstairs,
There's
downstairs,
seven.
stairs to
downstairs.
block the way
we going-
from the music.
Are we going upstairs, downstairs?
There's
Goose is
7
just like-
downstairs. Do I remember how many upstairs?
1. And Cassandra is definitely making her way up towards where the council chambers are.
1 upstairs, 7 downstairs.
Goose uses his movement on his turn to go 60 feet towards that direction.
Wow.
Okay. You want to go upstairs?
Where's the music?
And
I'm
every
gonna guarantee
subsequent
you
turn,
that
he
one
can-
is the Black Knight.
Yeah.
Every
so,
subsequent
like,
turn, he can
Ollie doesn't
move
want anyone going
180 feet.
upstairs. So Ollie's used put the bears in that direction to bar the way
Not to go upstairs, did you say?
towards the music. No, Ollie's freaked
Okay.
fudge out from the
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
So the first one through is Goose. With his hasted action, he's able to just gets past everybody, and you leave your family behind. You are zooming up. The bears that Ollie puts in the way, you're blocking your family from going up, right?
Not anymore. I told the bears to follow Goose.
Okay, so with this, Goose kind of zooms up and through.
Yeah.
The bears follow suit, but Goose, you're far, and you said you want to use full send, right? You're going right in there. Yeah?
Well, now I feel silly, but
I
that
just-
never stopped me
Goose, you
previously.
going
I was
right?
gonna say that's never stopped you. Do what
Never
you
stopped me before.
That's what you did in the
Mate.
first place to get us into this
You got
situation.
it, yeah.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
you got hasted movement. You got +2 AC.
Yeah.
You're unstoppable,
I'm
unkillable. Some might say.
unstoppable.
I feel like
No.
giving the
Untouchable.
sibling
Nope.
the sibling with impulse control incredible speed. What was the
As you near the
what was the thought
chamber
process there?
where the governor and city
It's like,
council...
we can make him better.
Yeah.
So as you near
With
the
fire.
chamber, Goose, where the governor and the city council are meeting with the Knights of Solamnia, the halls are empty. The council chamber's door stands ajar and its guard is absent. Though the room usually buzzes with conversation, everything is silent save for the humming. Your family is clambering up behind you much slower than you. The world is... You can feel your heartbeat just racing a mile a minute. But the door stands in front of you. You're well ahead of your family. Do you want to go in or do you want to wait for them?
Goose looks back, looks at the door, looks back, looks at the door, looks at the back, looks at the door. And he's just gonna be like, he's gonna and slide through into the chambers as stealthily as possible.
Give me a. There
Now I
is
wish
no
I hadn't
hiding.
taken the stealth route.
As you walk into the chamber, there is a figure there.
But he's
This-
crouching.
A scene of slaughter
This is crouch.
spills across the council chamber. Several guards wearing the colors of Calaman soldiers lie tangled amid skeletal remains and tarnished Solamnic armor. The bloody bodies of Calaman council members slump in high-backed chairs and across the room's large table. At a position of honor opposite the door, Governor Kalaf Miat's body is transfixed to his chair, a gleaming longsword piercing his chest. Next to the governor's body, a man in Solamnic armor rocks back in a chair. He props his booted feet on the table as he balances a scroll on one finger, humming beneath his breath. As you come
Who
in,
says-
he's looking in your direction and he gives you a lovely smile, a very friendly smile, a very kind smile, almost benevolent, as you walk into this chamber.
You just ruined my smooth brain, hang on. You just ruined my harebrained scheme. No hair. You fucked everything up and I'm pissed off. I'm gonna hit you with this big hammer now.
He
I'm gonna
clears
charge at him.
as you come in and your family's coming behind. He'll put his hand up. He says, "But friend, fear not." Do you still want to charge? He's trying to talk to you. It's up to you.
I stopped momentarily, but really only to
Your
really
heroes! Your heroes have arrived! I, Knight Caradoc, bring word that the Knights of Solamnia are at this very moment en route with all manner of pomp and mustache wax and whatever else they bother with these days. And he gestures to the corpses around the room. But I do recommend you contain yourself better than this lot did.
Just one more time with the name. It was something like Night Kerouac.
Caradoc.
Caradoc. Night Bivouac.
I believe that was the other name that Soth went by.
That is the name that the trapper went by.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got him under Lord Caradoc, Trapper.
Goose is gonna be like, you told me to stop. I don't like when people tell me what to do. And he's gonna fucking sprint at him.
Perfect!
Oh no.
As you charge in, you have running from down below 3 rounds. You made your way up 4, 1 more 5. You have 5 rounds, 30-ish seconds left. You spoke to him. You have 3 rounds of combat left of haste before it wears out.
Yeah.
And with this, as you all arrive up the stairs, you hear the clash of metal and hammer swing as you see your brother Goose engaged with this enormous knight, standing probably, well, he's taller than Goose, maybe like an inch. They're always a bit taller than Goose.
So he's
quite
like
as-
9 foot tall?
yeah,
I mean-
exactly.
It's not that hard to be
Most
taller
people are
than
tall.
Goose.
But as you step in here or arrive, Ollie, as you look inside the chamber and you see the figure of this man who claims to be Lord Caradoc, or at least the armor might be similar, but the face and the general demeanor of this guy is nothing like the figure that you've seen in your dreams.
You say Lord Caradoc is a butterface?
What I'm saying is what you see here and what you've seen in your dreams, at least, Ollie, don't seem to line up. And that's where we'll leave it for today, with you engaging in combat with this knight that has slain the entirety of the council, bodies strewn about the room, with Ollie, or
3
with
rounds.
Goose, and
3
this
rounds of
knight.
haste can have you go head to head with a Death Knight. It's fine.
Yeah. 3 rounds is all I need.
Easy.
Yay! So, we will leave it
Death
here.
Knight, maybe.
Maybe, maybe not. Good stuff. You guys made your way back to Calaman. You fought the guards below and are now in the midst of the council chamber, facing down whomever the hell this is, doing bad things to everybody. We will go back to this screen. Oops.
Ooh.
Woo! Boo! Any final words before we head out? Oh, AJ, are you streaming world building today?
No.
No. Okay. No.
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 I need to go to bed, man. I'm tired.
Sounds out like Mrs. Doubtfire.
No. All right. With this over our heads, let's go around and say maybe our goodbyes for today. Then, Ellen, why don't you remind us a little bit about you, where we can find you, and what you're up to this week?
Hey, so if you are in Ghana country, Adelaide, this weekend, come check out the Adelaide Cabaret Festival, and more specifically, check out Brag Drunch, a queer deconstruction of drag brunch. It's a very cool cast. It's got some really cool numbers. It's dinner and a show. What more could you want? And most importantly, come find me at Roltercast, ROLE, if you like TTRPG podcasts. We've got 9 seasons, and our 9th season has got its first episode out. So please go listen to that, because I'm actually, I hate the sound of my voice, which is a terrible curse for a podcaster. But I listened to episode 1 today, and I was just so proud of all of my amazing players, especially Lou Boffin coming in as a guest this season. They're so great. These characters are so realistic. It's kind of painful in the best way. So yeah, go listen to that and tell me what you think.
Nice. Awesome. Oops. Jesus, Sam, it scared the heck out of me.
That was fun.
Thank you for these alerts, man. I gotta figure that out. They're so loud and they scare me every time. I'll put Night Caradoc in there just so you guys can see what it looks like.
Is he hot?
Ooh,
Yeah.
he is kind
Oh,
of
no.
Why are they all hot? Damn
He's
it!
really
Just
sexy.
Yeah. Raccoon, are you capable of making an ugly person in this game? Just
Yeah.
a question. Just a,
All
just a
you have to do,
question.
look on the screen above your head, and there it is. Goose, tell me
Me?
where. No, above your head. I said above your head, just up here.
No,
Zach, where
piss.
can we find you? Tell us all about yourself. Or
Zach
maybe not
Speaks
all about
Giant.
yourself, but some about yourself. How about that?
It started on a windy night in 1993. Zach Speaks Giant is where you can find me. I have a YouTube channel where I share silly stories and silly thoughts of my own as well. I have a D&D channel where I play a campaign on Twitch. 2 campaigns, one of which is a rip-off of The Mummy, the other which is The Adventurers Are All Post Officers. So check that out on Mondays and Tuesdays. We'll be back hopefully next week.
Woohoo! Thank you. Dread, tell us all about yes.
Hello. That was bad. I had the tone in my head. I was going, hello.
There you go.
Go watch 90 Fire. A great movie. I'm Dread GM. If you want to see what I do, you can do the same as what you're doing with Zach and type in Dread GM, and you'll find me doing something on the internet. Right now, I'm running a Call of Cthulhu campaign on my channel known as Horror on the Orient Express, and we should be on tomorrow night, barring any issues with the players having life stuff going on. But I'm keen to get back. I'm excited to be GMing again. And I'm having a blast here and there. So if you want to see what I'm doing, go check me out there. I have a YouTube channel as well, Twitter and all that stuff. But you'll have to investigate that for yourself.
Okay. Thank you, Dread. Robert, what about you? Who are you? Where can we find you?
Hello, I'm Robert Hartley, GM. I am a professional dungeon master, full-time TTRPG player and nerd. I create content about Dungeons and Dragons for a living all over the internet at Robert Hartley GM. You can see it underneath me here. I'm also the DM for a comedy group called Viva the Dirt League over on YouTube. Viva the Dirt League D&D.
Nice. Awesome. It's a lot of
And
fun.
I have a podcast and it's very exciting. Robert Hartley GM.
For Twitch Tales?
Twitch Tales and Robert Reads and my Short Rest series where I interview somebody from the community, and I have interviewed AJ Winters from Winter's Tales. You might have heard of her. I've interviewed Zach from Zach Speaks Giant. You might have heard of him. I will be interviewing the Roll to Cast soon.
Yeah.
And I believe that's everyone of importance.
Everyone.
I also
Everyone
interviewed.
Yeah.
I also interviewed GM Workshop at one point on Short Rest, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. But you said of importance, and then you said my name, so that's actually
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
fine. So Dread, you and me, buddy, we're
we're
like
there.
there's
fine. It's
there's-
fine.
there's-
It's actually like if you know Rob, it's just like it's like this the biggest sign of love. It's just like, oh, you're not important, but you actually secretly are.
People shouldn't take that as a sign that someone loves you.
I was gonna say
I tell myself, just leave. Let me.
Don't let Rob neg you like
Yeah.
this.
It's,
Not
nice.
on stream.